Hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Do you want to see me? Can you hear me? Thumbs up. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Da-da, 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 da-da. Give me like some informazione. What's going on? Today we're talking about haters. Yay! So exciting. I need glasses for it. Need my glasses for it. So can everyone see and hear me? You can see and hear? Yay! Woohoo! Today, I am the queen of internal beauty because that is way more important than external beauty. Because at some time point, I'm going to be old and really wrinkly and shorter and da-da-da, but my boobs will still be up to here. But the outside doesn't matter. Today has been, like yesterday, it's been, the past few days have been crazy. Crazy. I don't know who acts like this, but it's been crazy. And I've been trying to understand it. And I, kind of last minute did the hate video that I did because I realized I needed to get back to comedy because I haven't been funny in a while. I haven't been funny in a while. And that's horrible. They don't worry. They don't move. They don't move. I mean, see what it does to people? Like, I became not funny because of it. So first, before I get into it, because see there, I just go jumping. Hello, everybody. I think there are a lot of new people here, actually. I think there are some people from Justin's that came. I think from Amber's that came. So I think there's going to be some new people. So I don't do the hi to each individual person. Is that not creepy that there's like a face popping up there every once in a while? Is that really kind of creepy? Because I don't know. Have you ever watched a video where for real someone pops up behind someone and it's totally creepy? Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting back there. But anyway, so for new people, I don't do the hi to each individual person because I don't like when it happens. So I don't want to make you guys go through it. I like to let people talk. I started out where I had no mods. For the first 3 or 4 live streams, I had no mods. And I'd have 100 people in here and nothing happened. Not a thing, not a timeout, nothing. I mean, because we were adults. So I like everyone to speak. I like opinions, even if they're not the same as my own, because that's how we learn. And I like you guys to flow the narrative. I'm not going to shut you up so we go the way I want. We're going to go the way everybody wants, right? So that's how I like to run things. So I do have mods now, but they don't really have to do much because I like to keep everything just so unless someone is hate speech or homophobe or any kind of phobe or anything like that, or really harassing someone, let it flow. If people are just talking, that's okay. As long as they don't pass that line, that's okay. That's what I want. I want people to talk and talk like adults. So I guess that's my intro. A little piece of hair hanging. It's weird, looking at yourself the whole time. It's like you're looking in a mirror, talking to yourself the whole time. It's quite strange. But we're going to talk about hate because I am 50 and I have never, in my whole 50 years, have never had as much hate thrown at me in my entire life combined. I feel like a little short. Let me see if I can make myself there. In my whole life combined as I did in one day yesterday. The whole 50 years, yesterday alone topped it. And it was nutty, absolutely nutty. I'm looking in chat and I see, what are you talking about? Are you talking about some nuds? And so just to interrupt myself, which I'll do 1,000 times. Thank you, your mom. We have a friend, Susan Bennett, and she is sick. She had the COVID. And so we're all wishing her well. So if everyone could kind of do some prayer hands or wish her well, we really love her and we want her to get better. So for the first time, I might get lurkers in here. I mean, I don't know. What do you call a lurker? Someone who sits in the back and doesn't say anything? I mean, that's fine. Not everybody wants to say something. That's okay. But we might actually get some rude people because I've had a lot of rude. Yesterday was basically, so here's how my day went. I had a sick kid at home. So I was doing real life. I had not gotten on YouTube yet. I know, not gotten on YouTube. It was maybe 10 in the morning. And I got a text from Justin saying, you got to see this. So I went to one person's chat. Not really good. Not really good. And it pretty much continued throughout the day. It was like hate hopping. They just went from like channel to channel, from panel to panel, just like talk shit about Queen, you know? And the funny part is they had all gaslit themselves so that nothing that they were saying was true at all. Like it started off with the first person who had been told that I had done all these things, which I have not. Like they were told I talked about them, which I have not. They were told I made videos about them, which I have not. They were told all these crazy, crazy things. And the funniest thing is this person and I kind of used to be, I wouldn't say friends, but we knew each other. We talked. She, you know, joked she had a girl crush on me. She actually asked me to be in the last Mattress Mamas. I mean, you know, we had emails and correspondence and joked. And I think she forgot all that. Go away. And she just believed everything that they said that I was doing and went off. And I mean off, like lemmings off everywhere. It was cray cray. And then it just continued from there. And, you know, everyone really did, I think, like gaslight themselves as they got farther and farther on. Hi, Allison, new subscriber from Justin. Justin and I did go on last night because I'm like Justin. I don't like to respond to hate because I think until my bra stopped showing, that's really unclassy. Until you say something back, you know, things don't have life. You know, if Hakuna, can you see Breege? Just a question. What was I going to say? Oh, now I forget. See, this is another thing, new people. I do this all the time. I forget where I'm going all the time. So Justin and I are both kind of the same in that we pretty much ignore hate. When people say things about me, I'll pretty much ignore it because, you know, if someone says you're a frog licker, you know, people are just going to be like, oh, whatever. But until I start coming out with being like, well, here's my proof I don't lick frogs. Well, now everyone's going to talk about me and frogs and licking them. It's now become a thing. I've given it life, you know? So if I don't talk about it, other people will stop talking about it, right? So I'm like him. I usually don't give things life. But at a certain point when things get so far, you kind of do need to, you know, say something. So Justin and I went on last night because I think it was at the point where we needed to say something. And I always hate doing that because I don't like responding to it. I don't, because I mean, I think it gives it life. I mean, I don't know. It's just stupid. But that was my day yesterday. Basically, like listening to people say how horrible I was. And it's weird because I don't know any of them. They're all, thank you, Chihuahua Mama. They're all pretty much strangers to me. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, you would think, like I said in my video, you would think for people to be this, like, inflamed and angered at my very existence that I would have to, like, know them. Like, you've been my friend for 10 years, or you're my sister, or whatever. Like, we must have to have a connection, you know? And it's like, no, we're like virtually strangers. And you're hating me more than anything in the world. It's creepy. So you have to think, why does this happen? Why do we hate people we don't know so vehemently? I mean, it's I've been thinking about that a lot lately. And like I said in my video, what we used to tell our kids was, you know, your son would come home, oh, this person's saying this about me. Well, are they one of your friends? No. Do you really know them? No. Well, you know, they're probably just someone who has a crap life at home and they're taking it out on you. Ignore it. Like, that's what we tell our kids. But now we're as adults doing it. Like, how do we tell our kids that bullying is bad when we're doing it worse than, I mean, I think we're worse right now than any children I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. And that's exactly what's happening. There are people who don't really know you, who have decided to hate you, that are just coming at you for no reason, right? And what we would tell our kids is, well, you don't know them, so ignore them. You know, so those people, why do people they do not know what? No, I'm saying, how do you get that angry at someone you don't know? Like, so hate, if you think about it, and we could get into like psychology and stuff like that, but to hate someone, technically, you have to have a great feeling for them. Like, hate is a very big emotion. It's not just dislike or maybe don't agree with. You know, I don't agree with what they do. I don't like what they do. But to hate is more emotional. You know, it's kind of the opposite of love. So you have to have some sort of feeling for someone to hate that much. Like, do you hate your garbage man? Have you ever hated your mailman? Like, even if you see them doing dumb shit, do you like hate them? No, because they're not that important to you to take that much of your time. But we come on here and we literally hate people that I don't think we know well enough to give them that emotion. You know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, there were people like all over the place talking crazy stuff. And, you know, like what you want to do is kind of say, no, that's not true. You know, my first reaction is to say, no, that's not true. Like, because that's not true. But I mean, there's no, you know, changing people's minds at that point. I mean, I think when people get to that level, I am a horrible person. How am I a horrible person, Frank? Would you like to come up and tell me? Because, Frank, I have been really kind to you and I have supported you and talked well of you when other people didn't. And I have done nothing to you. And I have done nothing to Hopi. I've done nothing to anybody. I appreciate that you've been gaslit. I appreciate that you're in love. But I'm not going to let you spurn things that aren't true, because they're not. I'm sorry, they're not. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you that there's 104 people in here and 103 of them disagree with you. Okay? Disagree with you. So if you can tell me something that I've actually done with proof that I've actually done it, then come on up. But I have a feeling you're going to be in the corner, because what I actually wanted to do was take a transcript of every video I've done, because you can get the transcript, right? I was going to take the transcript of every video and put them in one Word document and then search for different words to see if I really had said certain things. Because believe it or not, I know exactly what I say. And I know exactly who I do and do not talk about, because I just started doing lives like 4 weeks ago. Until 4 weeks ago, I had only done my little scripted comedies. So believe me, you write them out, you check them, you know, you like go through them, So I memorize them because I sit and speak from memory. So trust me, I know exactly what I said, who I said it about, exactly how I said it. Okay. Like, you might think I said, you're an asshole, but maybe I said, if you acted that way, you might be an asshole. Trust me, I know what I say and how I say it. And I can guarantee to you and everybody here that I have never, ever, ever made a video about the P person, the T person, the H with an O after it person. Never done anything to her. And as far as the other one that deals with beds person, you can go on my channel and look at a video that I have that shows that after the first Mattress Mamas, which is a satire about a group of people, one of which is Justin, one of which is Molly. There are a lot of people in there. A lot. Not just one, not just two, probably about 10. And after it, there's a video of her saying how brilliant it was, how funny it was, and how great it was. Hey, Justin. And then I don't know what happened. And you can also see all of those darn emails. So if anybody wants, and this is all I'm going to say because I'm not getting drawn into it. If anybody from this point on wants to come up to me with what I've done with proof, go ahead. And if you're right, I will apologize. But if not, zip it and nip it and dip it out, because I'm done. I'm done. I'm not having it. Okay? Not having it. Because at this point, you're just saying lies. And technically, that's slander. And it could hurt my channel. So that's not good. So we're going to stop it here, right? Okay? So now we're just going to talk in hey, koala lover. Oh, I was actually looking at my channel and I started seeing all these subs come in and views. And I'm like, what is going on? And then someone told me that Amber was playing it, which I'm going to strike her for. Just kidding. I would never strike anybody for anything. I mean, I really wouldn't. Why would you? I mean, I just, hey, Tis McGee. I love saying Tis McGee. Tis McGee, Tis McGee. Everybody likes Tis McGee. Justin is driving. So say hi to Justin. He is driving. They don't know. Well, no, I don't think they know what anything means. I mean, they don't even know what HIPAA means. I mean, to HIPAA is only pertains to your doctor or a nurse, someone who is medically involved with you. Like HIPAA doesn't apply to me. Like unless I'm your doctor, your nurse, or something like ASCOT is a good one. And you know what? None of this would be happening right now if Justin knew what an ASCOT was. It's the ASCOT that ruined YouTube. It really was. The ASCOT. One little ASCOT took it all down. Because that was it. That was it. Oh my God. Phone just blew up. But seriously, like that was it. It was, I think I had said, we're an ASCOT. And then Justin said, what is an ASCOT? Someone piped in what it was. Someone else piped in. And then I said, yes, these are red and poo's glasses because red and blue makes poo. We're the same person. Although we just proved that because we were in another chat and I had my hands up and they were doing their thing down there. But and then I actually said, let's take this offline. I don't want to be disrespectful. Let's take it offline. I don't want to be disrespectful. That's what I said. So I'm going to keep my hands up. Red and blue makes poo is going to be typing, and I'm just going to keep my hands up. I'll fix my hair. And I said that, and then all at once, I think I was looking down, and somebody texted me that, something's going on, and I looked up, and I wasn't blue anymore. See, red and poo is typing, and I'm not. I wasn't blue anymore, which I could care less about. But then I heard yelling, and I didn't know what the yelling was about. And then I got a text that I was being yelled at, and I started to listen, and I was like, oh, hell no. And I just left. I left. I didn't even hear all of it. Okay, I'm putting my hands down now. Oh, yeah. There are so many people that are red and blue. There are so many people that are red and blue. And I'm sorry if I'm disjointed when I talk. I often flip to chat to me talking, but it was crazy. And I left the chat, just left. And I didn't think anything of it. Although, like, it was horrible being yelled at. I mean, that's, and Justin went on live and I went on and we were just both like, what the heck was that? And we allowed the other person to come on and they came on yelling at us and then they fell off. We didn't kick them off. And, that was that. I mean, that was that. No, you're fine, Pooh. No, I distract myself. Trust me. My brain moves faster than my mouth sometimes. And I'm always, but yeah, it was just really weird. And that was the end of it. I haven't talked to that person since. I don't care. I mean, I don't know why all these people spend so much time thinking about me and making things up about what I do. I mean, really. I mean, I know I'm cool and all, but Jesus Christ, go find someone else to think about. My goodness. I mean, if I had time to do all the things that people think I do, holy crap, that would be awesome. But I don't, because I'm a stay-at-home mom. In case you don't know, for the new people, a little about me. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm 50. I worked. I retired. I had kids late. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And, I do this. I started this when Bullhorn Betty went after crude. And I just didn't like that was the new normal. See, all this ties together for me. I have a fan over here, which is why I'm getting crazy. I didn't like that was the new normal. you know, that this is what we do. Like, instead of we're mad at someone and we make a prank call, because that's what we used to do. We make a prank call, you know, hey, where's your refrigerator? Oh, you better go catch it. You know, dumb stuff like that. That's what we used to do. She said, oh my God, thank you. She said, we've been going on all of these panels. What? Yeah. You know what? From this point on, yeah. So I guess people are saying we've gone on all of these panels. You know what? Everything they say is what they've done. That's the funny part. It's totally that, you know, I can't think of the word right now. You know the word. But like, that's not what we're doing. Like yesterday, literally, from the moment I got up to past midnight was just panel hopping shit on Queen. Shit on Queen here, shit there, shit there, shit there, shit there. I mean, it was ridiculous. And I appreciate the thought. I appreciate it, but I don't want it. Because really, I mean, I started this with the whole, like, I didn't like that was the new normal, that's what people do is, you know, I'm going to send you a cease and desist and take you to court and strike you and swat you and diddly dat you and all that crap. Hey, Selfie Queen Cindy. Someone else sent by Amber. Amber is famous. I am going to start. I have to sub to you. And because I went into your channel because I heard you had played me and I went in just really quick because I had to take care of my son. But you were talking about like ass cracks and stuff. You were hilarious. I was like, man, these are my peeps over here. Nobody's red and blue. Red and blue doesn't exist. But anyway, yesterday was just crazy. And I've been trying to think why we do this. Why do we do this? Why do we allow people who are not close to get in our heads and in our lives and take over like that? It makes no sense to me. So Justin said, well, I'll just put it on the screen. Where'd it go? There we go. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm done talking about specific people. I'm done. You know, Frank came in here and told me I was a horrible person. Okay, great. Thank you for being gaslit. You're in love in your gaslit. Great. I appreciate that. But from this point forward, unless you bring it to me with some actual evidence, shut the fuck up. That's what it's going to be. You got some evidence? Good. If not, shut the fuck up. Because I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to, like yesterday, I didn't even listen to, I listened to part of the first live and then I didn't listen after that. I just didn't because it was all the same shit, just different panel and different person. But it was just stupid. Hold on. My son's calling me. So I'm just going to mute for just 1 second and go catch him. Hold on. unmute. Sorry. So yeah, I'm not gonna address it anymore because it doesn't deserve life. It doesn't. I mean, I do appreciate it. I think I got, and I'm not about subs and views. One of the things that I heard yesterday about me was that it's all about the money. Follow the money trail. I'm not monetized. There's no money trail. I'm not monetized. I don't do this for money. I don't want to be monetized. I don't want ads in my stuff. I might do members. Like people have asked me to do like get ready with me, like makeup members only, whatever. I mean, I might do stuff like that, but I mean, my goodness, I'm not going to do that thing. But I mean, I'm not monetized. There's no money here. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But so anyway, I was going to say, I'm not about like subs and views. And I really could, you know, if I had 10 people who loved me and thought I was the funniest bitch on the planet, I would be much happier than if I had like 10,000 people who just like were here to like look at my boobs or something like that. I mean, you know, I don't know. I'd rather have people who like me. So, but I do think I got like over 100 subs in the last day from it all. So, I guess in that way I kind of appreciate it. I mean, it is what it is, but it's just why, one of the things that I was thinking about was, have we lost empathy for our fellow man kind of thing? Like, I feel almost like something changed with COVID. We became harder. We almost became divisive in a way. Like with the vaccine, it was like the people who got it hated the people who didn't and were okay if they died. And the people who didn't were like, okay if the people who got it died, because, it was like this thing about humanity that I don't know that I've ever seen before, where people actually not just thought, because we've always been broken into groups, I mean, like cats function best on a hierarchy. There is the dominant cat and they have their little hierarchy, and that's how cats operate. Like some people who know cats say, oh, isn't that mean that cat always gets beat up and has to eat last? Well, no, they like having a hierarchy. That's how they function. And like kids like to have a structure and a schedule. They might act like they don't, but they do. We all as people, we kind of break into groups, different religions, teacher, student, boss, worker. We separate into our different cliques and our structures, and that's how we work. But I almost feel like in this, I love that someone just said, I was so funny they spit out their teeth. That's great. Just don't spit it out at a monitor or anything electronic. I have a funny story about that. I'll finish my train of thought and then remind me of my funny story. Just say liquids on an outlet and I'll remember it. Okay. So I feel like we've lost some sort of empathy with each other, that not only do we look at another group, like Democrats, Republicans, like it's not just that we're like, hey, we think differently, we're on different sides, but it's like, we hate you. And it's like, if you're on that opposite side, you're the devil. It's like, it's not just that you have a different of opinion, you think differently, you have a different opinion, but because of that, you must be horrible and you should die. Like literally, you should die. I mean, during the election, Democrats, you should die. I mean, that's how it was. It's ridiculous. I mean, and I don't know if it's because eyelids on an outlet. Okay, I'll tell it now. Okay, so in our bathroom, we have the outlets have a breaker on them. So because it's a bathroom, and if water, you get a flood, they'll trip themselves, and so it'll go out, right? You'll trip the switch, the breaker, so then you don't get electrocuted. So one day when my son was first learning how to pee, he was standing at the toilet and there was an outlet, like ground level over here, and he was peeing, and all at once, the whole lights in the bathroom just went zip. Like the lights in that bathroom just went zip, and he was scared the crap out of himself, and we're all like, what happened? What happened? Well, he peed and his pee got into the little outlet. So just like a flood, it tripped the switch. Like the switch thought it was wet. Like there was a flood, so it tripped the switch. And I don't know, maybe that wasn't really as funny of a story as I thought it was in my head. It sounded really good in my head, but it was pretty darn tootin' lame when it came out. Well, sorry. Wah, wah. So anyway, back to now. I feel like the comedian who told the bad joke and you're just like, great. Buy another beer. Anyway, I really think we've kind of got into this thing where we don't have empathy for each other. If we're different, we're hateful of our differences. And that's ridiculous because, this is America. We were founded on our different, and I'm not going to get all like, in 1883. But like, that's what this whole country is about. We're founded on our differences. That's what makes us tick. That's what makes us fun. There are people with long blonde hair and short black hair, and there are tall people and short people, and all, and people who think, eating cats is good and eating pigs is good and sucking people's feet is good. And like, pooping in their bad JJs is good. Like there are all sorts of people with weirdo coinkydings out there. And that's what makes us tick. And that's what makes our world interesting. It would be so boring if everybody thought and did the same thing. It would. I love talking to people who have a difference of opinion from me. I do. I learned something. I mean, I love the comment section. I have a really active comment section on my channel. I mean, I've looked at other people's videos and, I get a lot of comments. Like, I just do. And I think it's because, like, I've never turned comments off and, I never, like, block comments. So everybody gets to talk. And I've had people who have said, I don't agree with you. Like, I forget what it was about, but there was someone who said, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with how I think it was actually about Carl Jung. It was something that I had said about Carl Jung. The whole, because he has the philosophy of, what you hate in someone else is what you dislike in yourself. So, and she was kind of like, I don't, if I hate someone who's a rapist, is that because I secretly want to be a rapist? And it's like, well, I don't think that's the way it was meant. But we talked about it. She said, I don't agree with you. And I said, okay, let's talk about it. And we talked. And at the end of it, I actually said, that actually kind of made me change how I looked at what I was thinking. That's a great thing to do. That's how we don't get old and dumb. You got to use your brain. It's a muscle like anything else. You don't use it, it goes limp. You get saggy calves and icky, I can't remember what this muscle is called. Oh my God. I was up so late last night and I woke up so early this morning. Your tricep, bicep, fucking A, man. Anywho, but if you don't use your brain, you lose it. So you got to think, you got to think, you got to use it. You got to think about different stuff. And it's exciting to think about different stuff. I mean, that's why I don't like, I go to very few channels and I participate in very few chats because so many chats are like, if you just say a difference of opinion, it's like, that was inflammatory. That wasn't inflammatory. That was a difference of opinion. The sky is blue. The sky is green. That was inflammatory. You were fighting with her. No, absolutely not. It's an opinion. When did an opinion become like a nuclear weapon? It's just an opinion. It's not going to hurt you. And if you don't agree with it, you just say, I don't agree. No one's in there playing brain games with you like, oh, I'm going to say an opinion that's different and I'm going to change your brain and suddenly you're going to like think differently than someone else. I mean, no, it doesn't happen that way. Opinions aren't scary. Believe it or not, opinions aren't scary. Opinions should be treasured. That's how we learn. I think I had one of my other videos, I said something about, imagine if our founding fathers were so bunged up about differences of opinions, like women can vote. Like there was someone who said women can vote. And everyone was like, that's a shit idea. And the women that I listened to yesterday, maybe we should get rid of women voting. Maybe it'd be a little bit better. Anyway, but someone said women should vote. Women should wear pants. There was a time when women weren't allowed to wear pants. Women can wear pants. And imagine if everyone was like, oh, block that comment. Get rid of that fucker. Nope, can't listen to that. I'd be sitting here in a damn skirt, not allowed to say my piece or vote. And that would suck because I don't really like skirts at all. I mean, think about it. Think about if life before us was this, can't have any changes, can't have any differences. Everyone needs a participation award. Can't have any feelings, can't get hurt, can't get disappointed. I mean, eventually our kids are going to go try and get jobs and they're probably not going to get some of them. And if they don't know how to handle disappointment, they're fucked. I mean, I tell my kids all the time, and sorry, I swear sometimes, but I do it in a jovial way. So hopefully that's okay. And that's why I don't want to be monetized. And I probably won't be because I like to swear. But, I tell my kids all the time, my job as a mom is to get you ready to be 18 so that you can leave me and go be a successful adult, right? Like you can go on your own. and you can make your own food and you can get your own job and you can deal with your own shit by yourself. That's my job. And if I don't get him ready for that, if I don't teach him how to deal with adversity or disappointments, then I have failed as a mother. If I blow smoke up his ass his whole life and he goes out there and goes to get a job or goes to have a girlfriend and not everybody is like, yes, you're wonderful, da, 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 and he gets his butt hurt a little bit and comes crying home to me, then I have not done my job. I have not. And that is why so many children are still staying at home until they're like my age. It's ridiculous. So we need to allow people to have feelings. When did it become so bad to have a negative emotion? I mean, it's like the whole, oh, shoot. I need to remember the word. Positive. No, shoot. I can't remember it now. When like someone gets like something really bad and you say, oh, it's okay, it'll be fine. It's like, I can't remember the name. Anyway, but we need to let people feel their feelings, feel disappointment, feel hurt, feel the high, feel the low. And we can't hate each other for everything in between. Why do we hate? I don't understand why we hate. I'm going to look at chat for a minute. See what you guys are talking about, the Amber channel. I need to sub to the Amber channel. And anybody can drop anybody's link in here. I don't care. I don't care at all. So drop Amber's channel, Justin's channel, like Pooh's channel. Like everybody drop a channel. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. I mean, I don't care. I'm very easygoing. Yeah, people have nothing better to worry about. Like yesterday, my kid was homesick. And when my kid is homesick, like I like to sit with my kid. Like I don't want to. Oh, and House of Williams, Mallory she is a funny little bitch. She is funny. She is a funny little one. Yeah, if you don't know what it feels like to feel bad, you don't know what it feels like to feel good. You have to have the highs and the lows. And kids today, and I've noticed this with my children. I have young children. I got a second marriage when I was 35. I had my last child when I was 40. I had just turned 40 and I had my last child. So I still have young children. I have children in elementary school. And I notice that when they're not going 1,000 miles a minute, they think they're depressed. They think that is sadness because they're, and with life today, triple tasking, kids are just going. You want to know this? Go on Google. They got, you should see, I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, and those little pudknuckers, they can type so fast. I mean, you should see them with their fingers and hands move so crazy fast. I mean, yeah, people have changed. I worked in the .com industry. I was a .commer. I moved to Palo Alto in 1994. That was, I did that whole thing. Watch The Social Network. That was my jam. That's what I did. So, I was a coder, so, and I look at them and I'm like, holy crap. Like, what the heck are they doing over there? I mean, they're cray. Someone just told Justin to be careful texting and driving. I just got a ticket. I wasn't texting either. I was in my husband's truck and he doesn't have a thingy, to put my phone in. And so I can't hear my phone if, it's down. So I was just holding it. I just kind of had it like in my hand and I wasn't texting. I wasn't, I just like had it here so I could hear better. And so I see the lights behind me, right? And I'm like, looking, see, you're all 40. So you'll be 50 with a 13-year-old. So I'm 50 with a 12-year-old. So we are very close, Aaron. So I see the lights behind me and I'm driving and I'm like, okay, am I getting pulled over? Like, really? So I kind of pull over and he pulls over too, but then I see him wave me off, right? So I'm like, okay, I guess it wasn't me, because that actually happened to me once before. I thought I was getting pulled over, but then they waved me off and they kept going. It wasn't for me. So I'm like, okay, it's not for me, right? Cool, great. So I keep driving for like 2 miles, like a long time. And he's still behind me this whole time. And so finally I'm like, shit, what? He's still, I got to pull over again. Like, what are you doing on my butt? Like, I don't understand. So I pull over again and he pulls over and I see him get out and he's like, dump, 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 dump. Like, holy shit. Like, I know that it's for me because he's pissed off. It's like a fucking cockroach in a whorehouse. I mean, holy, and he comes walking, and I was like, was that for me? I was so confused. You waved me and I didn't know what to do. And I was so confused. And hi, I'm blonde and I'm a girl. And can that help me out here, please? And then, so once, I started, the dumb blonde thing, then he was like, well, you did pull over, but it wasn't in a safe area. So I wanted you to put, and I was like, oh, I didn't know. So he tells me to, pull over in like a grocery store there. And like, I pull over and I got like a stupid little ticket, but it was like, I haven't gotten it like that. I'm trying to think. I got a seatbelt ticket in like 1990 because the state that I was driving through had a seatbelt law. It was when the seatbelt laws first were coming, and the state that I lived in didn't have a seatbelt law, but the state I was driving through did. So I didn't know to wear my seatbelt because I didn't know that state, and I got a seatbelt ticket. So this is like my second ticket. It's crazy. And I have no idea how much it's going to cost. I tried to look it up and it didn't. Is it better than the outlet story? Yeah. The outlet story is funny to me. Just, I think you had to be there because he was a new peer. He hadn't been peeing like in the toilet, like correctly, like a straight stream for long enough. So then seeing him do that and then trip the switch with his pee and scare himself. I mean, it was funny to me, but yeah, it's one of those things where like you had to be there. I don't know. But so yes, many kids feel depressed or they are bored. Yes, boredom. Kids and boredom. My kids are always like, I'm bored. I'm bored. Then I live in the country. Zero. Hey, Jules. What's up? I live in the country. I live on top of a mountain. I live in the boony fucks, right? So, there's like, we don't live in a city where it's like, let's go bowling, let's go tennis racketing, whatever. Like we live, I'm in a very small town and 47 with a 6-year-old. So you'll be 50 with a 9-year-old. Ooh. But, it's not like we can just go places, it's like to get to like a Target even is an hour away. We're like in the boonfucks, right? So, they got to a point in their lives where they were always like, I'm bored. And I'm like, let's go outside. And they're like, what for? And I'm like, just to sit and hang out. And do what? Well, just sit by the pool and just look around. And they just thought that was the most bizarre thing in the world, that you would sit outside by a pool and just be. Sometimes you need to just be. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like I'm an 80s girl. Love the 80s. I'm a big 80s girl. Big 80s girl. Like winter is coming. You will be seeing me in some freaking leg warmers. For sure. I'm a big 80s girl. Huge. Right? So like that was when, so you would just, I remember like laying out. I grew up on the East Coast. You lay out. Just lay there. I mean, how, like, thinking back on it, how did I ever, like, lay there for, like, an hour? Flip to the other side. Like, who wants to do that? That was the most annoying, boring thing, to just sit there for an hour. But you listen to music, you hang out, you talk. They don't, like, really know how to do that. They don't know how to do that. Hey, a dizzle dizzle for shizzle my nizzle. Oh, my God. I have a friend who is all about the shizzle nizzle. He's like, he went through a phase where everything was shizzle my nizzle and the dizzle, whizzle, kizzle, fizzle, dizzle, blah. And it was like, oh my God. Jeez Louise. I was thinking the other day that maybe the internet fucked it all up for us, because we used to be nicer people before the internet. We really did. Like, we really were kind of nicer. I mean, I think now that we can just do anything so quickly, I think we've almost lost touch with humanity. I mean, dear Lord, did you hear that upstairs? There's craziness going on. But I mean, those of you who have small children will attest to, I mean, that time period. I mean, my children didn't have like human contact for a year. And I mean, thank God that I had two of them so they could be with each other. But, you know, people who, I was an only child. So people who are an only child, you know, I don't know how they, you know, dealt with that being all by themselves. But I think I don't know, maybe like people lost touch, and some people just kind of got really mean. Like some people got really mean. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it goes back to, what is this feeling of being so angry? I mean, I heard people yesterday literally screaming, like about me, like, you did, how dare you, fuck you, you horrible. And it's like, wow, it is not the tavern's fault. I assure you, it is not the tavern's fault. It's Justin and OG. That was another thing yesterday. We just got lumped together. Like, we're butthurt about our wrenches. So it was like Justin and OG, Justin and Queen OG. They're just butthurt about a wrench. The only wrench I would get butthurt about is if I lost my wrench for my house, because I do use that a lot. And when we lose screwdrivers and wrenches, I get pretty pissed. Because believe it or not, I'm the one who does all the handyman stuff. Like, I do that. I do like the electricity stuff and the internet stuff and like the plumbing stuff. I love that stuff. So I would be upset about that wrench, but not, you know. I mean, as a creator, a lot of people, you know, give creators wrenches just so people don't spoof them. It's just kind of a thing. But I mean, I'm not a good mod. I mean, I'm not good. So to not have it, it's not like I'm there working hard on it that I would be like, I worked so hard for this and I work so hard doing this all the time. And now you've taken it away and I'm hurt. It's just, you know, kind of a thing. I mean, like, yeah. Exactly. People were literally, I had one woman calling me like a whore, the C word, you know, like a horrible person. I mean, and I'm like, I don't even know your real name. Like, I don't know your real name. I don't know how tall you are. I don't know, like, I don't know your body structure. Like, I would not know if you were like big, small, short, tall. Like, I know this part of you and that's it. Don't know your name. Don't know what state you're in. Like, I know nothing about you. Nothing about you. And you are vehemently calling me like every name in the book. And like, thank you, Aaron Ford. Someone just said, love my channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. But to get that like mad, like, I don't know that I've gotten that mad about anything. Like, I don't ever think I've screamed at my husband that loud. Like, I don't think I've ever screamed at my husband. I mean, my husband's never done anything to be screamed at, but I mean, you know, I don't think I've ever screamed at a family member that I don't think I've ever screamed at anybody or like cursed at someone, like called them the names. Like, I don't think I've ever treated anybody in my life that way, ever. And so to hear it from someone who doesn't know you at all and you don't know at all, it's like, that's really weird. Like, that's really weird. Jamie says, I don't use my channel. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. And a lot of it is gaslighting. A lot of it is gaslighting. It's like, I think there are clearly a lot of people who don't have a lot to do. Who, I mean, and we see them. We see the people who are literally on here all day, day in, day out, day after day, week after week. They're always on here. And if they're not live, they're on someone else's live. What's the topic today? The topic today is YouTube haters 101. We are talking about, that was the circle jerk just asked. See, circle jerk coming in late and being all like, what's the topic? Well, maybe if you were here on time, you'd know what the topic is. Read the title. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Queen OG is why I believe woolen. Well, just lost that one. We'll just show it so I can see. That's why I believe woolen need to speak in. What's woolen? Woolen need to speak in person or on the phone. Yeah, I mean, I think seeing things in black and white, sometimes you can not understand what's being said. Like I heard someone reading an email that I had read totally the wrong way. I mean, they totally took it to mean something that it in no way did. In no way. I mean, it's just crazy. Hey, Mrs. T, it's just crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. Everything that happened yesterday was crazy. Yeah, I think Hakuna Matata says, substances can play into it. I think there are a lot of people, and this isn't good, bad, anything, but I think there are a lot of people on YouTube because they are stuck at home because of an illness, and that's not their fault. I think there are a lot of people who, I have back problems. I've been in pain management for a long time, and there are people who, need to be home. They are home. And so this is their outlet, right? Because this is the only way they can kind of go and see people. So they take this very, very seriously because this is their life. This becomes their life. This becomes their friends and their family. It becomes very, very serious to them. Whereas, to the rest of us, we may make good friends, but, I don't know. I mean, it's just too serious. I mean, originally, a lot of you probably don't know this, but when I first started out, my name was Bullhorn Betty OG. That was my first name. I started off on Twitter, and that was my first name, Bullhorn Betty OG. And I was on Twitter kind of as a Bullhorn Betty parody because I didn't like the whole, everything that happened with Crude. So that's how I started on Twitter as a Bullhorn Betty parody. And so I was Bullhorn Betty OG or TM. I forget now. God damn, I can't believe I forget. But anyway, then I became Just Say No to Butthurt, formerly known as Bullhorn Betty OG or something like that, because I started on Twitter, and then when I came to YouTube, I started making kind of roast videos because I just felt like people need to take themselves less seriously. Like one of the things that I've been getting called is a Barbie, and I think that's great. I mean, I love it. Who doesn't want to be a Barbie doll? Who doesn't want to be a Barbie doll? And I mean, I already got the hair and the blue eye, so I think it's great. Justin and I are going to be Barbie and Ken for Halloween. That's why we were talking about the ascot, which he didn't know what it was, which ruined everything in the world. Thank you very much. But I think that's great, being called that. I think it's hilarious. And I would love to roast myself and be some big, blow up Barbie doll, blow up I think it would be hilarious, and I would love to roast myself. And I plan to roast myself. So I started making videos, and that was the reason why. People get so bunged up so easily. And it's like the world is a serious, serious place. The world is a dangerous, dangerous place. And there's a lot of bad that happens in the world. Don't get me wrong. There's way more good that happens. But there is a lot of bad that happens in the world. And so if we add on to it, taking everything so seriously, it's like, you only get one shot at life. So live it to the fullest. Have fun. Do what you want because you don't get another shot at it, right? So, I mean, don't be so serious about yourself. Laugh at yourself. Joke at yourself. So that's how I started. So I was Just Say No to Butthurt, formerly known as Bullhorn Betty. And then everyone was like, Butthurt. And it was like, well, yeah, maybe it's not so fun to be called Butthurt all the time, And then I was Queen OG, Just Say No to Butthurt. And then I was just Queen OG. So that was my transition. But, I mean, whether you like Barbies or not, I mean, it's fine. But it's just the point of, I was called that because, long blonde hair, eyelashes, nails, It fits. right? Like, I'm not mad about it. I think it's hilarious. So, you know, if someone like pokes fun at you like that, like, don't get, I'm like, imagine if I was all like, oh, you called me about it. That's so mean. Oh my God. Like, how dare you? That's horrible. I'm going to go in the corner and cry. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, my God, like, laugh at it. Like, it fits. I mean, you know, sometimes you got like, if you actually watch the roast that I did, and I haven't done a roast in a long time, if you actually like watch, I mean, all I do is take people's actions and, you know, poke fun at it, you know, things that people are already doing. I don't make shit up. You know, I don't attribute shit to people who aren't doing them. You know, I'm not out there like, you know, just going in my head, making shit up like other people are doing. I mean, crap. Well, I paid big money to look like me too. Just kidding. I only paid money for these. Everything else is real. I mean, not the eyelashes or the nails or the tan, but those aren't really like, you know, but I haven't done, you know, anything like that. But yeah, if you can't laugh at yourself, what can you laugh at? I mean, what can you joke at? And how serious are you if you can't do that? I mean, what I always say is when you're yelling and being all mean, you're getting wrinkles. And who wants wrinkles? And that's the other thing about the whole looks thing. Now, this kind of, I mean, I've lived like this for 50 years, so I get it. But we tend to think it's okay to look shame or body shame someone like me because I'm not being full of myself, but I am probably more of like the Americanized version of aesthetically pleasing. I mean, like, let's just say that. I'm not saying that to be, you know, whatever, but so it's okay to poke fun at me rather than poking fun who maybe, you know, isn't, you know, the traditional what people like, blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, that traditional Barbie look kind of thing. And it should be across the board. Like, women should pull women up, right? No woman should make fun of another, no matter what, no matter who they are, no matter whether you think they're pretty or ugly or fat or skinny. Like, you just don't make fun of anybody at all. Like, that's how it should roll. Like, you know, I have someone who is a victim's advocate. Technically, they say that they are. And they advocated for me because I was doxxed. That's a whole nother story. There's a video of my kids, but whole nother story. Hey, Gone Girl. They advocated for me in the beginning and then suddenly didn't. And I think if you're going to be a victim's advocate, you have to advocate for every victim. Every victim. Like, and I think that's part of what these people don't get is that if you're on YouTube and you want to be a somewhat serious creator and do things, like some people are on here to just, you know, fuck around. Like, I'm doing my comedy, you know, whatever. I'm here to play Minecraft, whatever, right? But if you are here and you're like, I'm going to be a domestic violence advocate, like Jules just said. If you're going to be, I'll put that up. If you're going to be here to advocate for, I don't know, cats who get beat, whatever. But if you're going to be here to advocate for something, I think you need to have a bit of a professional appeal to yourself, right? I remember one of my Wi-Fi thing just went funny. Just making sure if I start to like, you can't hear me, like, let me know because it did this last time. But anyway, I remember one time, it was very early in my career, and I had a website, which was my professional website. And on it, I had a page with videos, and they were kind of personal videos. I mean, they were like me going to like a zoo with my husband or something. But, you know, I was cracking jokes and things like that. And I remember I had someone who wanted to be a potential client. And I remember them saying to me, well, you really should take those off because that's unprofessional. And I was in my 20s. So I was like, well, those are my videos. And I can put, I was a snarky little 20-year-old. But he was right. If you're going to come on here and say, I'm going to advocate for missing kids, or I'm going to advocate for domestic violence, or whatever, I think you need to at least have one channel that is completely professional. If you are going to be taken seriously, you need to be serious, at least on some level. Snippet here, I'm serious, here I'm not. If you want to have a separate channel where you do your funnies, that's fine. But I think if you're out there being seen as this batshit crazy asshole, no one's going to take you seriously. Like, they're just not. You're only hurting yourself there, like, and I hate when people do that. They, and they don't understand. Like, if I, as someone, for example, who was doxxed and had, going after my kids, if I was going to hire, let's say, a lawyer, I'm not going to go to a lawyer and hire the one lawyer who on his page, he has pictures of him getting drunk playing poker. I'm going to be like, that guy's a fuck up. Like, is he going to be when, the day before court, is he going to be like getting drunk playing poker? I mean, when you hire someone professionally, you want to think of them as a professional. You don't want to think of them, fucking up and getting drunk and playing poker and ordering strippers and stuff like that. So I think people need to be a little bit more professional. And living this whole life on YouTube of hatred and friends and not friends. And that's the other thing. People are friends, they're not friends, they love you, they hate you. It's crazy. It's a little, it does go to the subject of, who do you trust? Can you trust anyone? And that's another horrible thing that we're teaching our kids. Like, when I was doxxed, I had everything private. I don't have Instagram. I don't have LinkedIn. My Facebook is private. My husband's is private. I haven't even used my Facebook in 2 years. Nothing here, this Queen OG, is attached to anything else. It was really hard to get my information. And, I thought to myself, is this the world that we're living in? That we're basically telling our kids, you need to be a circle on a screen, and that's all you can be, because if not, be afraid, be very afraid, someone's going to come after you. That's a shit way of life. Like, I remember the days of like, go talk to your neighbors, go over here. You talked to other humans. You got to know other humans, right? And you didn't, if you saw someone in the mall and, oh, you go to that gym. Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, let me get your number. Maybe we can meet at the gym. You weren't like looking at everyone like, can't give you my number. You might dox me. Oh, what's your name? Can't tell you my name. My name's Bufflewinkle. Got to make up a name. Can't give you my real name. I mean, what the fuck is that? Like, don't tell me your name. Oh, where do you live? I live in buttfuck, Wisconsin, down there on the shore in the middle of Asia. What? I made it up because I can't tell you where I live. I mean, what is that? What is that? Are we going to tell our kids, don't exchange numbers? Don't, oh, want to come to my house? What's your address? I mean, this thing where literally, like, I should not have to be completely and utterly afraid of someone knowing my first name. I should not. Like, I understand guard your privacy, but the fact that we have to, like, be so fearful and lock down everything because if we don't, God forbid, if we don't, something's going to happen. That's not a good way to live. And are we going to say to our kids that in another 20 years, anywhere you go, don't tell anyone anything. You better just be a little bubble. I mean, I can't do that. Part of my funny is my, facial expressions and things like that. And the character that I play. Like, if any of you watched my video from this morning, so if any of you are here who didn't, so this morning I put out a comedy video, but you'll see in it, I'm the character. That's the character who does the roast too. And I have a red wig on and a stupid little beanie hat. And I have little half old lady glasses. And it's a character, it's a part. And it wouldn't be, if I was just reading that with a little bubble, it wouldn't be half as funny. You know, I probably wouldn't be as entertaining right now if you didn't see me, because I'm an animated kind of person, you know, and I do kind of, you know, have the character, you know, the hair and the, you know, it wouldn't be as good if you couldn't see me. And I shouldn't have to be afraid to show my face. Like, what world are we living in that you can't even, like, that's horrible. That's horrible. We are dehumanizing people. And that goes back to the empathy. Have we lost empathy for our fellow man if they're not in the same group that we're in? You know, if you are Catholic and I am Jewish, or you are Democrat, I am like, have we just not that, like, okay, we're have differences of opinions, we're in different groups, that's okay. No, it's not okay. You should die. You should die. I mean, like, that's real. Yeah. And Doug from Northport, like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? I started watching Doug before Doug was Doug. Hey, Aaron Ford. First time I've seen you. Have I seen other one? I wonder. What do you mean? Oh, the butt. I know your little avatar. I've seen you before. I've seen, because your hair kind of looks pinkish and your little. Are they called avatars? I just made myself sound really old, but are they called avatars? I think they're called avatars. I'm going to do a video where I'm like a blow up doll Barbie. I intend to do that. But we shouldn't have to be this afraid. And I don't like that we really are hateful. We really are hateful. Like with COVID, I was saying earlier, it was like vaccinate, not vaccinate, and we hated each other. Like people, like, you should die. You should die. Like people were like, oh, well, the people didn't get vaccinated, they should die. You know, it's like, what? I mean, okay, these people don't want to do this. These people do. Can we talk like humans? No, you know, it's just, it's too much. It's too much. And what has led us to this? I mean, sometimes I wonder, was this always here, but we only see it now? They are avatars, good. Because the other day I was trying to say it, and I was like, are they logos? And then I was like, oh shit. I'm like that dorky old lady who's like, the little logos that you put with your face in it on YouTube. And the kid is like, oh my God, Mom, you're so embarrassing. They're not logos, they're avatars. Don't you know anything? I was that mom. And I felt really bad for my children. I remember when someone, yeah, like, remember when you would go trick-or-treating and someone could give you an apple? I remember when you could get an apple trick-or-treating. You could get an apple. Now, don't. And then there was a time where it was like, don't take the apple. The apple might have a razor blade in it. You know, don't eat the homemade Rice Krispie treat. Oh no, that might have crack in it. I mean, we really have turned into this scared, paranoid society who is so fragile. We've become fragile. It's like we become fragile on one end, but then on the other end, we have these really hateful people who are far from fragile. Like they're not, well, maybe they are fragile. I mean, maybe that's why they are the way they are. I mean, well, it probably is the way they are. I mean, look, we all know who haters and bullies are. No one who has a wonderful life going on takes time out of their day to go after a stranger. I'm sorry to say it, but if you are living the dream and you have a wonderful, wonderful life and everything is going your way, you know, there's no stresses, everything's wonderful, you're probably not going to be that person who decides to just go spend 8 hours yelling about a stranger. I mean, that's just my take. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, entitlement. I hate entitlement. That is one of the biggest problems we face in society. And I'm not sure how we break our kids out of it, because it's like everything's a participation award. You go on the playing field and get a participation award for taking a fart, when it used to be you only got one if you won the game. Like, what's going on with that? We really need to reevaluate what the heck we're doing, why we're so hateful, why we're such pussies, because we're kind of becoming pussies. Like, don't feel anything, can't say certain words. God forbid, don't say rape. Well, you know what? When I sit here and say rape, it sounds much worse than when I say she was hard. Like, that's just, I don't know. But I was looking some things up about the psychology of bullies and haters. And everything that it went to the psychology of the person. And basically, they are what we taught our children. They are the people who had some problems. They're people who aren't happy with themselves. They're people who have low self-esteem. They're people who were, beaten as kids or had some sort of hard home life when they were children, or they have a hard home life now while they're an adult. But, no bully is a bully because they have the best life ever, or unalive yourself. I cannot stand when people say unalive yourself. It is not like going in reverse. It's not closing a box. It's not like, resituating a little pin. You don't unalive yourself. You're not like alive and then you like undo it. Like, you're dead. You're dead. You're not unalive. You're fucking dead. You're done. You're dead. You're gone. Like, it's not like unwalking. I'm unwalking. I'm unrunning. I'm unbreathing. Like, you like, it's just, I hate that. And I can't stand when people say that, because I think it sugarcoats what is a horrible thing that happens to everybody. I mean, that affects everybody in a family, all down the line when that happens. And, to make it sound like this, just like, we're just rolling back the wheels. We're just unaliving ourselves. We're just turning the TV off. We're just putting the car in reverse. Just no big deal. No, you're dead. You are dead. No more. Nada. Nix. Never going to play again. Never going to laugh again. Never going to do anything again. Bye, needle pulling thread. I hope I taught my kids. Yeah, I mean, it all goes to the same thing, like, we've got to be a stronger, kinder, nicer bunch of people. And by the way, I know I talk. If anyone wants to come up, just tell me you want a link, because I can not talk the whole time, but I'm going to actually take a sip of something because I have been talking quite a bit. Bye, needle pulling thread. Uncoupling. That's another weird one. Like, what I always think is some sort of like wires, like doing, wiring a house or something. You're uncoupling, you're taking the like uncoupling. Like, that's weird. Like, I don't know. It's like either that or some weird Kama Sutra thing. We're like uncoupling, or like, I don't know. You're breaking up. You're breaking the shit up. You're not uncoupling. Hi, Mike. I got to take a sip of something. But I don't know. It almost seems like consciously uncoupling, not just unconsciously. Like, how do you unconsciously uncouple? Like, you just, I don't know, like, treat each other like shit. I mean, it's just the weirdest things to say. And it's just like we're erasing our whole history. Constructive criticism. That's another one. I once had in school a teacher say I had the 3 things wrong with me. I was a woman, I was blonde, and I was left-handed. And he said because of that, I should not enter the science fair because I would not win, because I had the 3 things wrong with me. And I said, fuck you. And I entered and I won. I mean, that was, it wasn't constructive criticism. He was being an asshole, but it made me like, be like, fuck you. I'm going to do what I want. And I'm not saying that people need to be assholes like that. That was wrong. But, there is something called constructive criticism. And I used to always hate, like I said, I started in some places, people do get defensive over every comment. And that's why, like I said in the beginning, I don't go into a lot of channels, and I don't speak in very many chats at all, because I don't like that ideal that people take comments so defensively. Like I said, the sky is blue, the sky is green. Oh, you're attacking me. No, you're not. Like, it's an opinion. It's just, or constructive criticism. Like I said, I started with the whole Bullhorn Betty thing, and she is like one of like the best or the worst, however you want to phrase it, but with getting rid of comments. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I can't hear that. I'm too fragile for that. And I hate that. Like, how do you ever learn as a person? Like, how do I learn as a person? Like, maybe I'm too loud, maybe, I got, I don't know, lighting fucked up. And if I don't listen to constructive criticism, I will never know. And I will be loud and fucked up lighting for the rest of my, streams. Right. I mean, and sometimes constructive criticism goes to you, and sometimes it's helpful, but I guess not everybody's strong enough to hear constructive criticism. I don't know. But the other thing is, the people who usually are the most incapable of dealing with it are the ones that spit it out, right? The people who give the criticism to others are usually the ones who can't take it. Most creators don't know why they say. Why did people start saying unalive and are? Like, where did that even start? Because I don't even know. I started hearing people say that, but I don't know why they do. Is it because YouTube said you have to? Like, where did that even come from? Oh, advertisers don't like to hear it. Okay, so it's like a monetization YouTube thing. Well, that's why I don't want to be, because I'm not going to say unalive. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm going to say you killed yourself. I'm just going to say it, because that sounds really bad when you say it. And when you say it and it sounds bad, you're like, oh crap, I don't want to do that because that sounds bad. When you say unalive, you think you're reversing a freaking car or something. Oh, my neck hurts. Okay, so we can talk about so being disabled is a protected class, and no one should ever make fun of someone for anything, realistically. But you especially shouldn't make fun of anyone with a disability. But there are a lot of people who use their disability as an excuse, right? So, and they kind of, and they use it because they know they can say it, and people will be like, oh gosh, I don't want to sound like I'm, going after a disabled person, but there are a lot of people who use it as an excuse, and that's not okay either, because what that does is it kind of diminishes the people who are disabled. If all these people who aren't really disabled are using it as an excuse, then it diminishes the people who really are, right? I mean, it's like using anything else. I mean, I feel really horrible for anybody who is bedridden. I mean, that hurts my heart. And I'm glad that people have YouTube, because this is a great way to, get in touch with people. But like Pooh just said, stupidity isn't a disability, right? There's a lot that refer to lazy as a disability, right? I think one of the things that that I was yelled at for with the Mattress Mamas was I had gone after someone's disability, which I didn't. What I said was that it was about people camming up from bed looking messy, right? Just because you're in bed doesn't mean you have to look disheveled. You don't. You can, sit up. If you know you're going on camera, you can prepare for that. So to me, if you need to be in your bed, that is perfectly fine. I mean, why would anyone? That's the thing. People need to have a little bit of logic, a little bit of understanding. Because think, when you say someone did something, think, would they do that? Why would they do that? Does it make any sense that they would do that? Because some of the things that were said that I did, it's like, why would I do that? That makes no sense at all. Like, for someone to actually do that, that wouldn't be it. Like, that just makes no sense. Like, you have to use a little bit of brain power there. But there are plenty of people who do need to be in bed. And that wasn't what I was speaking on. I was specifically speaking on, this coming on camera at 3 in the afternoon, just all like in your jammies, still all like, like, all you need to do is just comb your hair, and you need to. You can't lay the whole time. You do need to move around. That's healthy for you. So at 3 in the afternoon to come up because you haven't moved since 8 a.m., like, I'm not speaking about you having to be in bed. I'm speaking about your laziness of just putting 5 minutes into a brush of the hair, a brush of the teeth, put on a clean shirt. It's okay. You can use all caps. I sometimes use all caps too. It's totally fine. But I mean, there's a difference between and I was actually going to do a video on that as well. Like, the difference between making fun of a disability and just make not. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yes, thumbs up to me. But there are a lot of people who use that, and they use that to shut you up. They use that to oh, you made fun of my disability. That's that really mean story from that creator that made fun of me and Susan and our disability. And that was a whole gaslighting thing too. I mean, wait, I never offered. Wait, I make sure I always look okay. You always look beautiful, Robin. Wait, I never offered you. Oh, offended me. I bet you meant offended me. Yeah, I mean, I would never. I mean, okay, so if you've actually listened to me, do I seem like the kind of person who would go after someone's disability? Do I seem that way? Because I'm pretty sure that I don't. I'm pretty sure that I seem, if you actually listen to me, like I'm kind of a nice person. I think, I hope. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't come off as like someone being all like, rah, rah, rah. And being disabled can be depressing. It can be. So I would never, I mean, I am in pain management. I went through a time period where I was in bed as well. I would never do that. I would never do that. That's horrible. That would be horrible to do. And I would never, I thought you meant offended. I would never do that. And, the other thing is when that person got angry, well, actually, they didn't. They actually loved it first. And, for those of you who came in late, I was just saying, like, the person who hated it actually loved it before they hated it. And there's a video that I put out with that. But anywho, like, I wasn't speaking to that. But that was used kind of to shut me up. That was used to shut me up. And, I mean, obviously no one else was offended because it wasn't what I said. But a lot of people use that just to shut you up. Okay, I'm going to go 1 second. I'm going to go right over there. 1 second. And if anyone wants to come up, tell me and I'll let you up. I'm going to go check my All right, I'm back. The first thing I see, we can't trust many people. And that's sad. That's sad. That's sad. Shh, don't let that get out, Queen. We don't want people finding it. I really am a nice person, believe it or not. I am. Kitties love me, and kitties come up to me. You're offended. Who are you going to tell about themselves, Cork? Queen OG. It was all of YouTubers, not just one person. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the story, yes. I mean, yeah, I wrote a story about many, many people, and someone thought it was just about one person. But I am a nice person, I think. I mean, and that's the weird thing, too. That's the weird thing, too, is that I think most of us think we're nice people. I mean, there's probably really few Jeffrey Dahmers out there. There's probably really few absolutely bad people, right? Most of us are pretty good people. Now, we might not like each other, but we like other people. So just because we don't get along doesn't mean I'm not a nice person, because I might get along over here. So to have someone just like flat out be like, you're a horrible person, and believe it is weird, because most of us know that we're decent people. So to hear that you're not is like, what? What do you mean I'm not? I rescued a kitty, and I helped an old lady cross the street. Like, what do you like? What? I'm not that horrible, am I? Right? I mean, and I see someone else. I trust no one. It's kind of social media originally started to like get us to talk and be social and be around each other. But it's kind of going the opposite way, where like we can't talk and we have to be afraid of each other. And that's kind of, like, didn't Facebook start for us to like get to know each other and find each other, right? I'm Steffi, sorry. OG is awesome. I am awesome. I am awesome. But I don't know. Why do you think there are just haters, just haters? Like, where do they come from to be that angry? Like I've been, for the last day, I was thinking about like what I wanted to talk about. And I was trying to come upon like some reasoning for like why, like what makes someone like that. And I can't, I mean, other than they've just, they've got problems. But it seems like that's too simple of an answer. Like, you're just fucked up. You're just fucked up. That's why you do it. You're just fucked up. Like, I don't know. Oh, hey, Jules. See ya later. Oh, does anyone want to come up? I believe very few people are horrible. That's what I just said. Very few people are Jeffrey Dahmers. Very few people are Hitlers. Very few people are flat out horrible, bad people. Most of us, maybe we're petty bitches sometimes. Maybe we're assholes sometimes. But most of us are pretty good people. Maybe not to you, you don't like me, but that doesn't make me bad. But so to hear all these people with such hate in their heart is bizarre. And does everyone know who the circle jerks are? Does everyone know who the circle jerks are? They're a circle of jerks. Oh, show me your face, Robin. Show me your face. Okay, hold on. You want to put it down? You can before I put you up. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
How are you, sweetheart?
I'm going to try and get through this the best I can. I'm still really sick.
Your voice here. Can I make you louder?
I don't know.
You're hoarse. You sound awful.
I've been super sick.
I know.
I just want to say that the internet has really made it possible for the mean people and bullies to become even meaner and bigger bullies.
I was muted. I accidentally muted myself. I've never done that before. It's true. I mean, this is such a great platform that can do so many things. Like for you, you're home a lot. And this is a way for you to connect with people from all over. It's an amazing tool, but it's being used for such bad purposes, to attack. And it's so wrong. I was muted. I'm not muted anymore. I was. I'm not anymore, right?
I can hear you. I
Okay,
can
good.
hear you.
Oh, your throat. You poor thing. I want to make you some tea right now.
I've done tea. I've been put on my second round of antibiotics
Oh my God.
because the first ones didn't work. This is my second week of being sick. But anyways, like there are people who will automatically target when they start talking about me. Well, you're in bed. How can you work? I still have a fucking mouth. I'm still
Yes, you
able
do.
to write. I still have a brain that functions quite well.
You do. You're just in a different location. It's no different. I mean, that's the thing. It's no different.
It's just like sitting at a desk.
Exactly. And if certain people were sitting in a desk looking messy and disheveled, I would have made fun of them for not being camera ready like that too. It was just the fact of like, if you're going to get on, don't be all blah, blah, blah. Take a minute to at least, brush your teeth and comb your hair. I mean, it just happened to be funnier that they were in a bed looking like with bedhead and stuff. But I mean, it wasn't like the bed per se at all. At all. I mean, I would never that would be horrible of me to do. I mean, my God,
And
I would like nothing more than for you to go run a mile.
And I don't even have to be on camera to talk to the people. I just talk to people on the phone.
Yep.
That's part of what I'm doing. Talking to people on the phone and making appointments. That's it.
That's the other thing too. I mean, you don't have to necessarily cam up. So all the times that people are camming up, like you don't have to, like they didn't have to cam up like all, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was just, it's so silly because it was just not in any way making fun of a disability. It's just ridiculous.
And when they make fun of me, I'm just one person, but they're making fun of
the whole
thousands of people with disabilities. And that's hurtful.
It is. It is. I mean, oh, Jane, see, that's horrible. That saddens me that you're in pain. Like, oh, Lindsay didn't get a notification. It almost looked like you said a nud. But, like that just makes you an even stronger person for saying, here is my situation and I'm going to make the best of it. And that's the thing with, this whole entitlement society. Like, I'm afraid that our kids will not be like you. You're just like, here's my stuff. I got to do it, doing it. This is my lot in life. I'm going to make the best of it. Like, we all have to. Like, none of us have perfect lives at all. Just because some of us might seem it, that you don't know what goes on for anybody, and that's another thing. Just give people a little bit of kindness. Like, there's just all this hate, but all you have to do is give someone a little bit of kindness, because you never know how much kindness will help them. You never know who's having a bad day. Just smile at someone and say hi. Let alone we've got these people over here like rah, 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 rah. And Robin, you have made great strides. You have. I remember seeing you long time ago. I really want to give you like a teaspoonful of honey right now. That's what I want to do. Make you swallow it and lick it. It just hurts my throat listening to you.
In my head.
Me too.
I just want to give you a spoonful of honey.
I just want to give you a spoonful of honey. A spoonful of honey makes the medicine go down.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of when you were saying it.
Yeah, where has empathy gone? I think we have lost our empathy for other people. Like I don't know where it's gone. If you're not in our circle, like you die. Like no empathy for anything. And I like hearing things yesterday, it's like, how could you say that about another person? That was one of the things that I was thinking. Like, how could you say that and think that about anybody? Anybody. Like, unless they really, really did something to you, right? Like, unless somebody really, really did that to you, like, how could you be that angry at someone? I don't understand. And especially when, like they know that, like I, have my back problem. Like, I don't know. It's just lack of empathy, lack of humanization, lack of everything. Really. I mean, I'm a little scared for the kids. I'm really scared for this next generation coming up. If they can like hack it to keep the world working, or if, oh, do I have a bad signal? Is it okay now? Sometimes it gets a little wonky. Is it okay?
And I think that some of these people on YouTube that have so much hatred, that they have so many unresolved issues of their own.
Yeah. Well, they have to, don't they? I mean, like, why else would you act that way? If, like I said, if everything's good, warm hot water with salt tastes horrible though. That makes you want to vomit. And if you swallow it, it comes out really fast the other end. It really
I've
does.
done it all. I
I've
tried
done. Have you?
I
I did
tried the
that as a
hot
cleanse.
salt water. It's an infection I've got. I'm gonna have to just stop talking pretty soon here in a minute, but I just wanted to come on because like I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because
Well, you've gotten a lot of. You've gotten a lot of. You've gotten a lot of it. You poor thing.
yeah, I've got a lot of help for a lot of things, but just the fact that there are people in worse conditions than myself. So
Yeah.
just be kind to each other. That's all.
You never know what someone else is going through behind closed doors. And you
That's
never know
right.
if that one thing is just the thing that is they don't need, that last straw that's going to crumble their cookies, you know? And we should have more empathy for other people than to do that. Than to, even if you don't know you're doing it, you just don't do that. I don't know. I don't think like our parents would act the way we're acting right now. Some of us are acting, not all of us, you know?
Or that kind word to the one person might save their life.
Yeah. Whatever happened to, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like, whatever happened to that? Remember, we used to say that to people. And now it's like, if you have something shitty to say, yell it louder than anything under the sun. Boom. Go to the mountains and yell your spite. That's what you do. Like, yell, yell, yell. Like, where did we get that from? That's horrible. I don't know.
All right, OG, I love you, but I need to get off of here.
All right. Love you too, sweetie.
All right. Bye, guys. I
Bye.
love you all. All right. Bye.
All right. So let's change the subject because I think we've talked about this all we can. So, what should we talk about next? What should we talk about next? Robin should have her own channel. Robin should have your own channel. Now, if you have to say, so let's pick a new topic. Oh, gone girl. Okay, show me your face. Show me your face. Show me your face for just a moment. Oh, wait, sorry, I closed the map. Hi, sweetie. Do you want to go down and I'll bring you back? Oh, you want your camera on or off? You can turn it off if you want. You want to turn your camera off or you want it on? It's up to you. You want your camera off or you want it to stay on? It's up to you. think your camera is a little funky there. Hi, how you doing? I think she's playing with the bed. Paper mache mask making.
I don't know. I really think that being kind doesn't cost a cent.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Not at all. It's free. And you look much better when you smile than when you frown and yell, piss and spit at people, right? I mean, I don't know. How you doing?
Doesn't matter. What's on?
Well,
It's fine.
Well, I want to know. Are you doing
It's
okay? Good. Okay, good. Good. Because
It can stay on, honey.
What?
I think, is it Mike?
You're on. What are you doing over there?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Now, can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. You got it. Yeah, you might be a little delayed, but you're good. Oh, did someone get an update about Susan? What are you talking about? Paper mache mask making. She's hearing me on a delay. Oh, are you hearing me on a delay? You can hear me. Well, I think I think she's just on a delay.
Me?
No, see, she's not. She just heard me just
I
fine.
don't think this is working right.
Well, you're a little like slow, like the picture. I mean, not you.
I'm going to jump down because I think I'm roboting.
Well, you're not. You're just a little. I think it looks like a little slow. Maybe I don't know. I live in the mountains. I used to have a really bad connection. I used to not even really be able to come on. Yeah, I think she was a little laggy. That's the word I was looking for. Laggy. I need something to drink. So yes, what should we talk about next? I want something different to talk about because I'm tired of talking about hate. All right, I'm gonna let Gone Girl go up, and then I'm gonna go to the bathroom and get something to drink. So I'm gonna let you up.
Can you hear me now?
You're much better now. You're much better. All right, now that you've come up, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and get something to drink, and I'm gonna let you chat for a moment. Are you okay to do that for like 2 minutes? You don't have to chat. You can just sit there if you want. But you guys all good? Just for 2 minutes? All right. I'll be right back. Hold on 1 sec.
That's okay. I am a little slow. I live in my room. I think it's roboting. Am I roboting, honey? Hello, my sweetheart. I can't tell what I'm doing. But all I know is it costs nothing to be kind. Nothing. Am I? Okay. Yep, I can chat. As long as they can hear me. I can just sit there and say, hey, everybody. Okay, we're going to let her pee because we don't want a pee party. So.
I went to pee. I'm back. No, you sound fine now, actually. The Circle Jerks are coming on today. So let's drop their link so everyone can go to Circle Jerks. You know what I kind of think of the Circle Jerks? I kind of imagine like a bunch of me's, like yapping. Like they remind me of like if a bunch of me's were like yapping and like yapping on people. She's barely at you going pee. Oh, is she really delayed?
Yeah, I think I am.
Well, see, she just heard me right there.
Yeah, I heard you. I can hear you perfectly.
See, she's not delayed. All right. Well, whatever. So, what should we talk about next? What would you like to... What is everybody doing for Halloween? There's one. There's no delay. We're good. So, So the last we heard about Susan is she's not doing great. So I think we all need to kind of keep her in our thoughts. Poor thing. I feel bad for her. She's been in there a while. Like 2 weeks. Hasn't it been? I think it's been 2 weeks. Right?
Yeah, I can
Something
hear
like
you
that.
perfectly fine.
You're fine. You're fine now. So what do you think about this whole Haiti crappity crap? It's horrible, isn't it?
Yep, it is horrible, and I think it has to stop before somebody gets hurt.
Well, people have gotten, that's the thing, people have gotten hurt. And it just, nobody,
No, but
I
worse
don't
than
know.
hurt.
What?
I think the fact that it's getting so toxic that I think it's going to be a hurt that we can't fix for some people.
And that would
That's
be,
what worries me.
Yeah. You can drop your links in here. Anybody can drop links.
We don't know on any given day. We don't know where someone is on an emotional compass.
Exactly.
And we don't know that you could be the last sentence, the last couple words that person hears can make or break what happens. Now, does that mean we're responsible for everybody? No, it doesn't mean that. But we are adults. We are able to be kind when it's not easy to be kind. You know what I mean? We can just walk away from things. We don't have to engage in every little thing that's going on the YouTube streets. Because if you start with one bit of negativity, it can snowball quite easily.
Oh, yeah. It snowballed yesterday.
And yeah, it did. And the thing is, the snowball can get so big that there's no way for us to turn around and say, how did it start? Where did it go wrong? Because that snowball is going downhill 100 miles an hour. After it hits the bottom of the hill, all hell breaks loose, and we don't know how it started and who said what to whom. So the best thing to do is be nice to everybody.
Well, like you said
or at least don't respond. You don't have to respond to everybody. Sorry, I interrupted you. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. But like you were saying about, we don't know where someone is, like we're not responsible for it. Like you don't have to, you're not throwing the ball out of the field, but you don't have to help it along. I don't know. That wasn't really good, but you know what I mean? Like you're not responsible for it, but you didn't have to help it, kind of thing, like that kind of thing. I mean, like I was in the grocery store like a while ago, and there was this like little old lady, and she couldn't really reach what she was doing. And, I was like, oh, let me help you with that. And I got it. And she just looked at me like, you're the first person who said hi to me today. And it was like, she probably is alone. And she, probably, walked over here, because there was a little, place where I know like they, their elderly people live. She probably walked over, and, no one had really made contact with her today. And it was like, oh, that's so sad. Like, why don't we just say hi to people? Why don't we just,
I know, that's all it takes. Before my accident and before I had to live in my room, what I did, I was running a community garden of 99 vegetable beds, which were mostly for seniors or anybody they wanted to go. But even when I would walk over to the garden, in the morning, there's so many older people walking their dogs, at 8 o'clock in the morning. I made sure I stopped for 5-10 minutes talking to total strangers because I knew the chance that I was the only one that would stop what I'm doing and talk to them on the street. Like, I mean, and it got to the point where we all took our dogs out at the same time because it was kind of like gave them a social life.
Well,
not my
it
dog.
Makes you
well,
feel
my dog
good when you're nice to someone. It makes you feel good. Like it makes you feel good too, right? I mean,
and that's what I miss. I miss
Well,
the fact that I have zero purpose now. It's just gone.
you still have
You know.
purpose. Everybody has purpose. Your purpose
I
right
don't
now
know if
is
you-
you're on here talking. Your purpose
I
right
know.
now is you're on here talking. That is purpose.
Well,
Everybody has purpose.
I did make a video that's called I Was Murdered, and it totally tells exactly what happened of how my life got murdered, literally. Not
Well,
like
if
totally
we can drop your
figuratively.
link, we can see it.
But
You want us to drop your
I
link?
don't know how to do. I don't know how to, honey.
I think
Since the accident, I had to learn everything all over again.
well, I
Because
think
part of it
someone
was a
can,
head
a
injury.
mod can find your channel and drop it for you. We'll drop it. We'll
chan-
find it. We'll drop it
My
for you.
channel is Gone Girl, but just do the murdered one because it was
Okay.
the best way to explain what happened and why I am the way I am now.
Yeah.
Because I'm totally different.
And that's why we need to talk to people, to understand people, to understand other people's conditions. You know, we need to have empathy for each other.
And we don't want to be. We don't want to be the problems of the YouTube street. We don't want to be the bottom
Trust
of the
me,
barrel.
Not in any way, you're the problem.
No,
You're far
but
from
what
the
I
problem.
mean is, a lot of people think when you have an accident or you have an illness or that you're always less than, but that's not true.
No, it's not.
Some of us still have the ability to be good to someone every day. That's all it takes. That's literally all it takes.
You are no different than me right now. You are touching 70 some other people. You are spreading kindness and awareness, and you are telling your story to there's 74 people in here. So right now, you are affecting a lot of people, and that's a huge purpose.
And well, I love people. I really do. But the only thing is, I've also ended up with a lot of hate due to MGL because of my situation. Because it's a little different than most people because of the MAID program that I'm going through, and it's a doctor assist. That's enough to say what that is.
Right.
Because so apparently that was a curse rate. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, it's really hard after 7 years that you've been in a bedroom. Now I'm in the hospital for a while. It's just a couple months, but you lose your purpose. You want so much that everyone to see that you haven't changed. Your circumstances changed.
Right.
But in your head, you haven't changed.
Well, you haven't changed. Not at all.
No. But people automatically assume,
they do.
Oh, she's broken. She's not a valid person anymore. What is she giving out to the universe? What's she doing to help? The only thing I can do.
That's horrible for other people to think that.
Oh, I've had people tell me that now I'm a waste of skin, a waste of air. Why aren't you dead
how
yet?
Are people so cruel? Hey, Kim, I don't understand how people get so cruel to anybody. I mean, I don't understand it.
Hurt people. That's the best way to describe it. Doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. But that is what's going on. It's a bunch of hurt people who are hurting other people. They think it's going to make them feel better, but you're going to feel twice as hurt because you displaying your hurt to other people. If they don't respond the way you want them to, you just hurt yourself twice.
Yeah. Well,
because hurting the other person didn't change them.
No.
And it costs nothing to be kind.
Girl. Her channel name, if you just put
it's
like 2 dots, it'll you can go to her channel, I think. But it's just, if you search for Gone Girl, it'll come up. Oh, I can find it. Hold on. I'll find it. Hold on. I'll find it for you.
I think you have to be a mod. But I don't know how to do it, honey. My 5-year-old grandson, when the accident happened, he came to me, he goes, Grandma, it's okay you broke your brain. He goes, I'll help you.
Kids are so funny how they say things.
He broke.
Oh, I think we found it.
It's
Hold on.
got blue, purple, and yellow kind of Gone Girl thing. Alicia, one of the girls in the YouTube streets made it for me.
Let me make sure it's the right one here.
Like, I find that there's a lot of really good people.
Yep,
Like really, if I have found a group of women that have been so helpful, so uplifting. So it's not like people aren't there. I think we're just getting too caught up in the hate. And we're hating people because somebody we like hates them. We're not even hating people for ourselves.
We're listening to other people. For example, someone read an email that I had sent, and they were reading it. And in my email, I said something like, have you ever been to my channel? To like, so you know what you're talking about. And the person was like, hell no, I've never been to your channel. And it's like, then how do you know what you're talking about? Like, how do you know?
Because
it's like you never, like,
they're hearing
and the whole thing is whether I have or have not talked about people. So if you've never been here, how do you know if I have or have not? You don't.
Well, because somebody played the game of telephone from childhood. Yep. And someone took one line of something you said and added two. The next person added the next two.
Oh,
and next thing you know, you have a whole book.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing
I had one time where it was just, completely like someone was told something completely not true and just went off because of it. And then I had another time where, like, I swear to God, they just took the words and like put them in a different order.
Yeah.
And like that was the sentence they got. And it's like, no, the words were in a specific order for a reason. You had to read them that way. You couldn't take them out of context and then put them in a different order and read them.
Exactly.
That didn't work. Hey, make people smile.
Gee, that's exactly what they do. That's the thing they do the most.
And I think the worst is when you get caught up in it. It's hard not to, but you really have to. Because when you do,
what I try to do, not telling it that it doesn't work always for me, but I go everywhere. I'll never be the person that says, if you go there, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. No, I'm an adult. I can go wherever I want. It's YouTube.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't have to talk about other people while I'm there. Right.
And you don't.
I just focus on what's going on. You don't want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason. I have never understood the whole, if you're not friends with my friend, then we can't be friends. It's like,
that's high school.
Be friends with whoever
Grade
you want.
9.
That doesn't change, and it shouldn't. And it's immature when you do. It's very selfish when you tell someone you can't be friends with that person.
Not only that, we're teaching our kids that. And that's the opposite of what we're supposed to be teaching our kids. We're trying to get our kids to be nice to everybody for the most part. But now we're teaching them, if your friend hates this person, you got to hate all of them too. No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hate a person that's done nothing to me.
Well,
like
it would.
And that's what YouTube has gotten.
It would be nice if people actually, when you hear something, go make sure it's true. Go make sure it's true. Like, just go take 5 minutes. Don't believe everything you hear. And most people will find that what they're being told is not true. And that's sad, but I mean, it's kind of crazy that way. Just take 5 minutes and, figure out if you're.
Or sometimes it takes a little longer sometimes to get to the truth. But what I do is I'm like you. I'm not going to make a snap decision on someone on their relationship with someone else. You got to base it on the relationship you have with that person. You can't all of a sudden flick a switch and say, oh my God, I got 5 friends who hate so-and-so. Now I've got to hate them. So I'm going to go after them now, even though they've done nothing to me. Does that sound logical?
Exactly.
It's no logic.
Exactly. I'm not going to make a decision on you based on someone else's opinion. I'm going to make it on my interaction with you.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. I mean, when I grew up, that's how it's like, it's almost and I say this, you know, I don't know if things have always been this way and we just didn't know because we didn't have, you know, the internet to see everything that's gone around in the whole world. Like we can much more see everything now. So are we just seeing
Yes.
things that were always there, or are we really a little bit more assholes now? Because I almost feel like we're a little
I
bit
think
more
we're
assholes.
bigger assholes now. We are a little bit more assholes now
We are.
because we've been shut in for 2 years with the sea.
Yeah.
We've become more opinionated because, to be honest, we're all online and nobody's getting fresh air. Nobody's outside doing as
And you
much
can
as
be
they used
anything
to
you
due to
want
the
to.
pandemic.
I'm just gonna grab something right here. You can be anything you want to too. You can say you're anything.
Yes.
You can say you're anybody. You can do whatever, and it's okay.
But that's dangerous when it gets to that point that you can't trust anything.
Well, that's horrible when we lose trust because
and
you
for
know,
stupid reasons. It's the stupidity of it that bothers me. Is when you lose relationships on here, it's usually for a stupid reason that has nothing to do with you whatsoever.
no,
But
I mean, I don't know. I mean, some people say, well, you can't think anybody on YouTube is a friend. Like it's just impossible. But I don't really think that. I mean, I don't.
no,
I
I've
don't
got
want
some super
that.
friends.
Yeah, I don't want to
No, and
believe that it's impossible because we really just can't trust each other and shouldn't. You know, I don't
No,
want to believe.
actually, I can actually say the opposite. I have found at least 6 people on here that have become so dear to my heart, and we're offline friends now. But we were all
Well, that's
in
like
the
the people at the
trauma, true
tavern.
crime.
They're all real friends now. Yeah, that's like that.
Yeah, we're kind
But
of. But
it's
just because
hard
I
to
go
get
in
to
their
that.
lives, but the thing is, just because I go into their lives or I go on their panels, that doesn't mean I'm co-signing everything they're saying. I'm not.
Right.
I'm there
Right.
because they're my friend. That doesn't mean whatever's coming out of their mouth has anything to do with me. And I'll actually be quiet, which you notice I have verbal diarrhea. So it's hard for
So
me
do
to
I.
be quiet. But if they're
I mean,
bashing someone that I don't think deserves it, I just sit there and say nothing
yeah.
instead of jumping in and kind of be a hate monger. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't this bad. How long have you been on this platform? It was never this bad
Since March.
until this
Not
past
long.
year.
Not long. Since March.
Okay,
So,
well, it never used to be this bad. There was a few people doxxed, but all the real life that is going now, that is new this year, this
yeah.
past year, like take 12 months. Okay,
I don't.
that's new. It's
Yeah.
become acceptable now to go into people's real lives. I'm sorry, a year ago, we would have all stood up against it. All of us would have stood up against it. But now it trickled in a little at a time. And that's like a snake, it just snakes its way in. Okay, this one looked up a house. This one looked up a family. This one over here looked up somebody's past. We're throwing criminal records up there like there's no tomorrow. And I'm thinking we don't have the right to do that unless the person is talking about said information.
Right.
If we show it, that's one thing. Nobody else has a right to do that. They may be able. There's a difference between being able to do something and should you do it. There's a big difference.
Like just because it's not illegal doesn't mean it's not immoral, Like just like
and that's where we lost.
Wrong, I can do it. It's like that doesn't mean that it's okay. Just because it's not illegal doesn't mean that it's not shitty as fuck to do that. And you're an asshole.
We can jump off a bridge. We can jump off a bridge. Are we all going to go do it? Because a said YouTube channel said to go jump off a bridge.
I mean, and the worst part is the people who are doing it are the biggest hypocrites because if it's done to
Absolutely.
them, it's horrible. But, you
Yeah.
know, like for example, me, you know, there's like a video with my kids and my address, and
I'm so
YouTube took it down.
sorry that happened. Oh my God, I
YouTube
hate when
took
that
it down, and YouTube terminated the channel because you know how fast they are and stuff. And it's like suddenly I made it up. Like someone
No.
who, you know, I have pictures of them saying like, "Oh, I saw it. It's real. It was really bad." Like now suddenly that they hate me. Oh, I made it up. I made it up. It's like,
But see,
don't you
it's
just have
stupid.
natural
You see
empathy
how,
for another human more than that?
but
Like,
the thing is, it's childish.
yeah,
It's a
it is.
childish response. We're all doing kindergarten rules, really. We're
It's
just
why I
learning the
try
kindergarten
not
rules in the
to address
playpen.
it. Yep.
No,
Yep.
but
That's
the
why
thing is,
yeah.
you won't, you do address it or don't?
I try. Well, I have addressed it like at a certain point. Like I get crap all the time and I ignore it. But once things get to a certain point, I think you have to, you know,
Yeah.
like it's one thing to get like the, little thing and the Barbie and the hair and the da, 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 da. But when someone is outright like slandering you and like, you know, like at a certain point, you just have to say it because things are
Yep.
being said that could be believed that are just so wrong that you can't let them be believed. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I got stuck in a pattern that's happening all over the place now with proving things. We're doxing ourselves sometimes to prove things. Like I literally had to prove about my catastrophic injury accident. I literally had to show the documents before anybody believed it.
Well,
And
then
I'm
that's when
thinking,
you have to say,
a
is it
year
important
later,
enough for them to believe me? Like, do I really care that, you know, like, do I really care?
if that happened this year, I'd say, oh, no, hell no.
Yeah.
I would have never done it this year.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit new. And I just couldn't stand that people thinking that who would live in their room for 7 years at a choice?
That's the logic
Seriously.
question. Like, think about it. You're saying someone did something that's so illogical that it's like, that makes no sense. Like,
no, because my whole life was being gone at 8 in the morning and coming back at 8 at night because that was how the garden ran. You know, we needed to stay there. So no, I wouldn't have left my favorite thing to do, plus miss my grandchildren because I can't do the same things with them.
Yeah.
That like, oh yeah, I did that just for attention on YouTube. No, didn't work that way.
Yeah, I just made that video just for shits and giggles. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, that makes no sense, you know. And I put out some emails because someone kept saying I was doing something that I wasn't. So I put them out, and then they're like, "Oh, well, she missed one." It's like if I was going to do that, which obviously could be, if that was true, could be like, "Oh, see, here it is." Like then I really would look like a big asshole. So if I was going to do that, I wouldn't have shown them at all. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because the other person isn't going to show them. So if I was going to do it and leave one out to potentially set me up to be a really big loser, I just wouldn't have done it at all. Like that makes no sense. So to say that, it's just like think with your noggin a little bit. Like when you're being told something, be like, well, that doesn't make any sense that would happen, and question it.
Yeah. Oh. But see, that's what we're not doing. We're not questioning. We're questioning the wrong things. No, the thing is, we're questioning the wrong things. We're questioning, oh, this person said they went to this school or that school. Prove it. This and that. I'm thinking that is so stupid. Like, are you going to sit around a dinner table when you have people over for dinner and you're going to sit there and say, well, I'm going to tell everybody what I think you're doing that you're not doing? Like, do we do this in our real lives? We don't do it in our real lives. So why are we doing it online?
Like, picture all this being done in the real world. It would never happen.
I know. It wouldn't. We have too many keyboard warriors. Are you kidding me? If they walked out the door, they wouldn't be able to talk at all. Because I think they're so disconnected with the real world that what can you do? But I have never seen in this last year how much hate from one year to the next. This is a whole different place. And I've been here 3.5 years. And I can tell you this last year, I don't know what happened. Everybody just
I don't know what happened
landed on their
yesterday.
head. I think they bumped their head somewhere along the line and don't know
Some
it
happened.
because
Some happened that makes absolutely no sense.
I like the Kool-Aid channel only because of the name too, because that's what it's like. We all drank the Kool-Aid and we all went crazy.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say one thing to chat. There will be no fighting. So if there are personal problems, then you take that somewhere else. This isn't the place to hash that out. Okay. So that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, Katie Mason said you don't have to prove it. One thing about this whole receipts crap, I hate the receipts crap because people, they say something that's so out there and then, oh, I want receipts, but they don't believe them when you give it to them anyway. They find some way to say,
yes, it'll never be good enough. They're going to say, oh no, that document isn't real. Oh no, this and that. It's never enough. That was the perfect statement. It will never be enough. When all of us are never going to be enough.
Missed one. One isn't there. It's like, people who are going to believe what they're going to believe are going to believe what they're going to believe. And no matter what you do, like it doesn't matter. So that's why so often you just shouldn't address it at all because it's ridiculous until it gets to that level that, you have to. But up into a certain point,
I do that too.
You're not going to change anyone's mind. So what's the point? Right?
That's right. When I got a failed swatting from the YouTube streets back a couple of years ago, I never said a word online.
To your house?
Yeah.
Did they come to your house?
Yeah, they did, but I live in Canada, so it works a little different. The person who phoned it in, who I know did it, forgot I live in Canada and we don't have guns, and apparently I had the guns and all that. Well, that was checked out before they even came. You want to know the funny part? It was so funny. They sent two probably 26-year-old cops, one guy, one girl. The guy stayed out in my hallway of my apartment and played darts with my 5-year-old grandson while I was showing YouTube to the young female doctor, our police officer. So it didn't work the way they expected, and I didn't come on.
Well, that's hilarious that there's no guns anyway. They're saying you have guns and there's no guns. So it's like, ooh, figured that might not be true.
Before this SWAT team comes, they have that all checked out. Canada doesn't just get up and go to the house. It's a big production. It takes at least 30 minutes for them to convene. For them to convene all the SWAT team. Plus, they do a background on you.
Oh, so wow.
I had nothing. I had nothing with the police or anything like that. So their point was mute. But I didn't say anything for a year. I did not give that person satisfaction. I know who it is. But I wouldn't give them
that's
satisfaction.
Exactly right. You would give them satisfaction. Hey, Buckeye, you would give them satisfaction. And that's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. That's what.
But it didn't work out their way because we got a dart playing cop and the other girl's laughing at you.
I'm just picturing it. I'm just like, that's hilarious. But I was really worried, when I was doxxed about like, what if they would try to swat me? So I live in a small town and I called them and I said, if someone called you and said something, what would you do? Would you come here? And they're like, no, we would call you. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. Like, it's like for them to do that would pretty much take all the resources, they're not going to do that. It's a really small town. So they're like, we would actually call you first. So I'm like, okay, well, that's great. And they're like, we'd look in your records and see that you called about this. And so we would know it was false before we even called you, and we would just call you as a formality. But they're like, yeah, we're not coming to your house if we get a call for you. They're like, we're going to call you on the phone.
I had to buzz the police in. I had to pick up the phone and buzz them in because I live in a
I thought it
security
was great.
building. It was
But I heard someone
so
saying like the cops
funny.
that would never happen. It's like, yeah, it would. Like, no, she's lying. It's like, no, I'm not. Like, sorry. Like people, even if you tell them the truth, like people just gonna believe what they want to believe.
Yes, because they've already made up their mind before you opened your mouth. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's what's been
Well-
going on so strong is everybody has made up their mind on something, whether it's based on facts or not. In fact, there's less facts now in the last year than there were before. Because you can manipulate call chats. You can manipulate any kind of chat.
Well, it's just you just Photoshop it. I mean,
Yeah.
like the
I
emails
watched
that
something.
I got showed like them messaging people in Facebook Messenger to like the sheriff and stuff, and it's like I know that's photoshopped. You didn't actually do that. Like I can tell that's photoshopped. Like duh.
Yeah, I
Come
don't
on.
know how to Photoshop anything, but I know to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
I know to see it where, and lately there's been a few in the last week or so that if people noticed that they kept hiding the 1-3 lines, but
Yeah.
then when they went to the next thing, those 3 lines should have been the next ones, and they magically disappear, and others show up, and I'm thinking like, you didn't even do it right.
Yeah.
Even I
If you're
could
gonna
have
do it,
done-
do
no, I
it
couldn't
right.
do it.
I mean, mine was done right, but I just knew that they wouldn't have done that, so it had to be, fake.
So
So
someone
I mean,
else.
I just kind of knew. I'm like, I know you would like you're gonna Facebook Messenger the sheriff that I'm a child molester. Like, I don't think so. I think if I really was, you would be doing a little more than Facebook messaging. I'm gonna Facebook
That's
Messenger
right.
the sheriff. Like, really? Like something really bad happens, and you're like, I'm gonna Facebook Messenger the sheriff. Oh, there's this really
Oh
horrible
my
person.
goodness.
Like,
That
please
is
come
funny.
help.
That's
Like,
funny in a
call.
way. I'm sorry it happened, but it is kind of funny.
Well, it actually it was funny. Like in looking at, like I didn't know about the video at first. I only saw the email, and the emails were just so ridiculous. Like one of them emailed to my husband's old work that he hasn't worked at for 2 years, and it said that I was doing illegal activities on their property, and like how could they is that really what they want to show for their business? And it's like, he hasn't worked there for 2 years. Why would, and even when he did, I never went with like, I'm doing illegal activities on your property. It was just dumb. It was just dumb. I mean, some of it was laughable. There were parts that were just laughable. So swatting is when they call and did they say you have got, like, did they just say anything?
Like basically they can say anything. They can say you got a gun or a knife, you're going to kill yourself, this and that.
But then they come with all the
no,
with the
first
they
that's
come
what
with
they
the whole
in
shebang.
Canada. Yeah, they do it in the States, but here in Canada, they meet with you first. They buzzed. I let them in. My grandson let them in the door, and they could see I was in my room,
Right,
with a PSW, by the way,
right.
at the time, and yeah, it was so that no, they don't put. Then they're not going to waste the resources. Now, if those cops came in and I was, I don't know, sitting in my bed with a knife to my wrist, yeah, they might have called SWAT
But
if
some
I
people, like
refused
I've
to
seen,
leave.
like Benny Keys has gotten, or like I mean, I've heard, I've never seen it, but like 20 cops come. Like he get like,
Yeah, they
it's a
do.
big deal. What?
But in Canada, we're just too cheap. In Canada, we're not going to. They get paid triple time.
I mean, but I guess in where he lives, I think he's in Texas. I guess they just all come. I mean, I've never seen, but I've heard.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
Texas
crazy.
does.
Like, 20 cops show up to your house, all like with their guns, all like, like,
and lasers to let them let you know that they're
really what they do. I've never seen it. Is that really what they do?
It is, and that what happened in the States was so horrible. Is gamers on YouTube decided they were going to SWAT their friends that they play with, but the police in the States went to the wrong door and ended up shooting and killing an innocent person. They were one house over. Now,
See,
those
that's
gamers, they did end up going to jail for reckless
they
endangerment.
should. They should.
But that is how dangerous it can be. That's why I said at the beginning of this, are we going to wait till someone gets really hurt?
Well, that's why I called my sheriff and I was like, if someone calls, are you gonna, because I've seen it. Like I've seen where they say like, you know, and they're like, no. they're like, we would call you. And they're like, we'd look at your file, we'd look at, you know, anything on your address, realize that you've called us safe.
Well, that's what they.
But even if I hadn't said that, they're like, we would call you first. I'm like, that's nice. All right, I don't want to send fights in chat, so that's not to discuss here. I don't think we really can, like, I know it was a personal experience, but it seems to me, I don't know what happened, but it seems to me that there are differences of opinion. So yeah. I don't know.
We all have our own opinions. That's why.
I don't know if this is the time or place to discuss like specifics. I don't want to hone in on like, this is like, no one should ever do.
No.
Like, I do not think anybody calling the police is okay at all.
No.
I mean, unless you know something is happening, then that you should not
unless
do that.
You're actually a real life friend that knows everything that's going on, you shouldn't be doing that because it's not your place.
No. Like the CPS calls. And all I'm saying is I just don't want a fight in the chat about like specifics. Like someone saying that didn't happen, that happened, that, you know, like I don't want it to turn into that. So,
no. That's why I'm not even mentioning the people who had it done. Just
but
me.
Like they say all like the CPS stuff. Like unless you really know a child is in danger, like you don't.
I don't know.
Like there's probably a child who needs the CPS to come that isn't having them come because you're being a dick calling it on someone random other person. Like that's not okay.
But the thing is, it's so not okay because Queen, you're hurting the kids. You're not hurting the parents.
Exactly.
You're traumatizing the kids. You're not helping
because
the parents. You're not hurting.
Like I've heard they have to go. They have to, they have to go. They have to check it out. And that, the kid's traumatized, the parents are traumatized, and what if like they think something's going on that isn't, and they take so many things could happen. Yeah. And in any case, it's not really real. So you're taking that, those resources away from someone who probably really does need it. Right. And that's just,
and for the most
real life thing is bullshit. Like the whole real life.
No, it's bullshit.
I think. I mean, I don't understand. Like make a crank call, do the Ouija board on them, get the doll and poke, whatever that doll was.
Poke the voodoo doll.
It was the voodoo doll, a voodoo doll on it, like go try and do some weird witchery or something, but you don't like, I'm gonna call CPS. I mean, it's just horrible.
No,
it's
because you're just making victims that didn't need to be victims.
Yep. Yeah.
Because that does traumatize the kids.
Oh,
more
I can't.
Than the parents. It's
can you even imagine
childish. It's why can't we use our words? If we all learned to use our words more effectively, you don't have to go real life.
Talking like adults. Oh my gosh.
Things.
I mean, I there's so many situations where it's just like, can you just not talk like an adult? Like, take it offline, talk like an adult instead of, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's gotten into our thinking in our heads. It's just, I don't know. I do think that somehow we've gotten desensitized or something because of COVID. Like we honestly are.
There's no empathy.
Less humane. Yeah. Anyone.
But there's no empathy.
And I had to do that. I called my kid's school. And first of all, can I tell you how embarrassing it is to call the police and say,
is.
Hi, I'm a YouTuber. my name's Queen OG, and I
Yeah.
have some people, girls who don't like me, and some people, and da da da, and I got some email. I mean, you sound like such a moron. I'm Queen
I
OG.
know, just saying you're a YouTuber.
I'm a YouTuber.
I
That was the
know.
worst. I was like, I don't really like. This is gonna sound stupid, and well, I'm a YouTuber. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to say it. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm
But
a
I had to call, like, I
YouTuber
called the kids'
and
school.
I got
I called everyone.
haters.
It was the worst.
Haters.
I got some people who
No,
don't like me. I
That's
have
right.
a comedy channel.
I'm
Just
right
say no
next
to
to Beauty.
Butthurt. They got
I'm
Butthurt.
just-
I mean,
Yep.
it was embarrassing.
just
It was
below-
really embarrassing.
I'm just below PewDiePie.
It was just, I felt like such an idiot.
Well, that's
got
what I
some-
did.
got a
I
comedy channel.
showed
People don't
it.
like me. I just wanted to, and I didn't know if they were like laughing at me or like what. I mean, it was just like,
I know they were laughing at me because they were in my bedroom watching the video of the threat they made, and they're laughing. They go, "This happens in real life." I go, "Yep." I said, "It does go on in real life," and they just
have
laughed.
big things to handle, and here I am. I'm a YouTuber. It was just like, oh my god.
I mean,
but
I'm YouTube famous like PewDiePie. I got so many haters.
Like, of course they have no idea.
And-
but it's like, how else?
And then
do
they'll
you say that?
ask you,
What's
I
your
know.
channel?
And then and what's the channel of the people that are harassing you? And you're fast typing it in while they're standing next to you, going, "There's the one. She's the one who said it." Like, are you a bit crazy? And that makes you look like you're an alien. Like, oh my god, it's crazy.
I felt like the biggest. I don't know which was worse, calling the sheriff. Oh, TPing people's house. I remember TPing people's house and egging people's houses, but I don't know what was worse, calling the school or calling the sheriff, because the school was embarrassing too. That's like the school, and it's like, this should be school grade stuff. Like, this should be my kids talking about this, not me saying this. But I mean, like read, like it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, we just have to tell them, I'm YouTube famous. I can't help that people are calling the cops on me. PewDiePie won't answer my phone call because I'm not quite that famous.
Because everyone has these really weird names,
Well, look at mine, Gone Girl. Yeah, hi, my channel's Gone Girl. I'm getting bullied on the internet because I'm not gone yet.
Like, I'm Queen OG and I'm getting bullied. Like, hi. If you get any weird calls at the school, it's not me. I'm a YouTuber now. I retired. It's embarrassing. I mean, in all the big things in the world, it's not the worst thing that you would have to do, but it definitely is a little like, and I'm in a small town, so it's like, first I called
me too.
And it's like,
I live in a small town
the
too.
sergeants or whatever is like my old nanny's husband. So it's like everybody knows everybody. And I'm like, hi, it's me. I'm a YouTuber now. And not, it's like, I'm sorry. But you have to do it because you have to. Because
you have to. I know you don't have a choice.
I mean, so it's just like mortally embarrassing. Like that was the worst part of it.
Especially when you get someone that doesn't even know what YouTube is at all. I've run into
I
that.
hope they do, because that would be really bad. I mean, I hope they do. Because if they didn't, that would be like, everybody knows what YouTube. I mean, they have to. They go on the internet to do stuff. They have to know, it is, right?
Yeah, I know. It would just be funny. What's YouTube?
Well,
they know Twitter.
Like,
they know Twitter. They know Instagram, but some people don't know YouTube except for us. That's why we're YouTube famous. That's why we're YouTube famous. Because we're the only ones here.
It was bad. It was embarrassing. I don't want to do that again.
No.
But now they have it all written down in their file. So if anybody ever calls about my address, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's the YouTuber. So we're not going to go to her house. We'll just give her a call because she's got haters."
Can I tell you something about my one experience? Was they called and I told you they have to buzz the police in. Well, I didn't hear the phone. The phone was left in the wrong room. It wasn't in my bedroom. So I didn't hear it. They had to call my roommate and wait an hour and a half for him to come home at 2:00 in the morning to let the police in so they could swat me. And so by the time he came home and I was sleeping, I woke up to him saying,
really late then.
I'm sitting here going, "Why are you here? I'm sleeping. How can anything be wrong? I'm sleeping."
You would be surprised how many people. I just had a friend who's a couple years younger than me. He was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, well, do you have to pay for YouTube?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Well, how does it work?" I'm like, "YouTube. You know how YouTube works, right?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Have you ever looked a video up for anything? How to like change a bed? I don't know. Like, have you never looked? Like, do you not know what YouTube? Like, I don't know. Is that really weird?"
I've come across a few that don't know what YouTube is. As they say, they know Instagram, they know Twitter. Some of them have given up on Facebook. But no, I have crossed our age group between yours and mine that don't know what YouTube is. Because they don't, you got to remember, well, I'm 59, so my generation is just started jumping on cell phones, computers, tablets, stuff like that. Like my 87-year-old mother is better with a tablet than I am. I'm thinking like, damn. I gave it to her and I thought I had something I'd help her with it. No, she knew it better than I do.
Kicked your butt. Someone asked, Eileen asked, why would you call the school? I called the school so if somebody else called the school to like say, I'm here to pick, because my children were in a video. So if anybody came to hurt the children, they know. If anything happens, it's not me. Like you're aware of the situation. And if anything weird happens, you're aware of the situation because they're children and they need protected. So it was just basically to make them aware. It's a small town. If you see a weird car drive by, if you see a weird person walking within a mile, like, they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like that's what it was, basically.
No, that was smart.
I called like Ace Hardware. Hold on one sec. Let me go. Hold on one sec.
I have no idea what to say. I got a sore leg today. Alex Jones. Okay. Just reading the one thing, Alex Jones case.
Okay.
Not sure.
Poor little kiddos. Second day, day 2. Day 2 of not feeling good. But they're so cute. He's like, last night, he's like, what if I can't go to school? And I'm like, then you can't go to school. But I'll miss stuff. I'm like, oh, like it's okay. It's all right.
My grandson's
What's the Alex
like
Jones case? Someone's asked, do
my
you know about the Alex Jones
grandson won't
case?
miss school for anything.
They really don't want to miss school. Someone's asking about the Alex Jones case. What's the Alex Jones
I know, I was
case?
just trying to figure that out because I think I've heard of it.
Let's Google Alex Jones. Alex Jones case. We are causing lots of trouble, SoCal Mama.
I think it's
Alex Jones must pay Sandy Hook. Oh, wait, Sandy Hook.
I don't even know this.
Whoa.
I spelled Alex wrong.
$965 million.
Jeez.
Whoa. Hold on. I can share my screen. Hold on. Let me see hold on. Let me see. Share screen. Let's see. So, oh wait, hold on. Hold on, let me find the right window. Here we go. Okay, sure. There we go. Okay.
If they
So,
get to
Alex
the,
Jones.
it's a
Which
defamation,
one was
Garrick. It's a defamation case.
Sandy Hook? I'm being really ignorant right now, not remembering the specifics of
Oh,
Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook was quite a while ago. It was a school
Yeah,
shooting. It was back. It was
oh yeah.
one of the really big ones.
So what's he in trouble for? What's he in trouble
He's
for?
saying that it never happened. That it never
How can he say it
happened. He
never
said it
happened?
never happened. He said it was crisis actors.
What?
That nobody died.
Someone asked
it
if you
was
cook.
just fake.
Do you cook, my lady? Do you cook, my dear? Someone in chat asked
Who,
if
me?
you cook. Yes, you.
Do I?
You're the only one up
Me?
here. Only other one.
No, I used to cook a lot. Now I have PSWs that cook.
960. Wow. 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 It was, oh, I had no idea of any of this. See my little weird world on top of a mountain that I live on? I had no idea. Wow. $965
Well, I'm not,
million.
and we're not even sure if he said something about. I'm not sure if it's the same person, but someone also said that 9/11 didn't work, didn't happen. Demolition those buildings anyways.
Oh my God. See, defamation. When you defame people, it is serious. You cannot say things that defame people. Wow. That's a lot of money. Another jury found that his company must pay $49.3 million. Man, he's dishing out the money. Wow. That's cray cray. Oh my gosh. Well, clear. You know what though? I don't watch the news. I don't.
Me either. I don't watch the news at all.
Why do I want to? Why do I want to?
It's all negative.
Yeah, I don't need to. I mean, when the next election comes, I'll watch to learn about everything going on. But right now, I don't know. You know, I get news on Ukraine and stuff. All right, let's see if there's another. 4 hours ago. Wow. Well, he must have a lot of money to be. I'm not going to play that, but how much money does he have to be given $965 million? Wow, look at all the money. Wow. So is so one person is getting $28.8 million? What on earth? He really, wow. Man, he can defame me if he wants to. You can dox whoever. Yeah. Man, you can dox my pinky toe for $76 million. Crap. Man, look at all that. Wow. Dang.
I know.
Wow. How could you even say that's a hoax?
Oh, there's a lot of people. I've seen it on YouTube. A lot of people fell for that guy that was saying it never happened. That was crisis actors. They were going to demolition those buildings anyways, and that it was all a setup and it didn't happen and nobody died. It was just faked out of the rubble. And I'm thinking, Are you kidding me? How can you be that stupid?
I mean, wow. I mean, I don't know how, but do you know that I saw something once that there's a sector of people who believe, is it New Zealand? No, Australia isn't real. It's really, when you go to Australia, you're really going to New Zealand and you get drugged on the plane. So you think you're going to Australia. I swear to God. If you want to come up to the plane, Robin, you can. Yeah, if you want to come up, Robin, hold on, let me get you. Hold on.
Did you want me to jump down?
No, you can stay.
Okay.
Oh, you're fine.
It's the most fun I've had all week.
Oh, there you go. See? There you go. Let me get rid of.
Because when I got here, I was here for 3 weeks for something different, and then I got COVID. And now COVID is over. Yeah, in the hospital. I didn't have it when I came in, but I got it while I was here.
Man, how bad was your case?
It was bad for the first 3 days. I
You want to do your camera or not, Robin?
Wished for
take it down if you
death,
want.
but then it got better quick, so I can't
Hello.
complain.
Hello, Gone Girl. Nice to
Hi,
meet you.
honey.
You sound very. I love your attitude. It's wonderful. Keep up the good work.
Oh, that's very
honey.
kind of you. It's very.
Oh, you're quite welcome, honey. I'm disabled too. I understand, and you keep up that good attitude. Hi, Queen OG.
Hi. You know what? Your mental outlook is everything. It really is everything. It changes. You know, if you have a good outlook on things, it can change everything.
Exactly. Be positive, no matter what life. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
There you go, and it's free. It's free to be positive.
Exactly, but
it's true.
Excuse me. I've been following this case, and the reason I've been telling a lot of YouTubers and people to follow the case because he has a lot of platforms. He has a YouTube channel. He has he has like 5 different platforms. Okay.
Wow.
And he started when when internet started. And he's like kind of this person that's into conspiracy theories, okay?
Yeah.
And JFK and all this stuff. So when the Sandy Hook shooting came, he said this was his theory that these people did not get shot. The school was shut down. They were all actors.
Yeah, they were crisis actors.
Yeah, they were crisis actors. The children never died because this is how twisted something on. The reason I'm bringing this up because this is how twisted misinformation go out on YouTube. So what he did was the medical examiner, because they were kindergarten children that were shot and killed.
Yeah.
It's the first major school shooting we've had in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Is where it happened. And like, we've never seen anything like that before. They were all kindergartners and the teachers and all that got killed. So then what the medical examiner said, and this was because I'm in the medical field, was to be empathetic to the families, that they asked them to bring pictures in.
Yes.
As they put the bodies out there, because they did not want them to see their children this way. So they could identify the body with the picture before the morgue took them and everything. So he took what they said there, as these children were never killed.
How did you jump from that to never killed?
Yeah, this is what the case has been about. So he turned around and he did this for, I think the shooting happened in 2012. He's still doing things on his show about it. So these families were
devastated twice.
Devastated. They had people that were his followers come to his their hometown. They were threatening families. They had to leave. They had to leave their home. They were putting things on their cars. They stalked them. This went real life on these family members.
Show me your face real quick, SoCal Mama. Just real quick, and then you can go.
So,
is that...
Hi, SoCal Mama.
Okay, you're good. Hey.
So, hey, I was just coming up to put something in the back chat, but
okay.
Go ahead, Robin. Sorry.
That's okay. I love you, sweetie. Hi, honey.
Too. Hi.
But what he tried to do is, he said that his First Amendment right to have free speech of his opinion, and it became a civil case because you have a right of free speech, but we also have civil cases that if your free speech harms others and can do damage or murder other people or do this stuff, you could take him to civil court. So his freedom of speech was not protected of the civil case. So that's why they had one case, I think it was in Texas with some of the families. And then this one was in Connecticut. The first one, like you said, was 49 point something million. And this one, they're just coming up with what you say it was almost 1 billion for the 20 family members. He was making, and they showed when he started covering this case, he was making something like $80,000 per show on this case, on these shows. How his revenue went up and up and up just by doing and covering this case with all this false stuff. And he tried to say that there was no police in there. They were never in there. The school was not there because it was such a bad situation. They took the school down. They wouldn't even allow the school to be opened again. They demolished it because it was such a bad scene. So he took that and twisted it. So what your words are, what you say, you can't be hateful. You can't go after people and think that you cannot be sued under civil court, is my point of coming up with this. So, like, I hear a lot of people say, it's my free speech, yeah, it's your free speech. But if somebody gets hurt or something happens to somebody, they can also take you to civil court for damages. And I feel bad. Like the one man, he had like you ever have you bathe your child in a sink when they're babies?
Yes.
So he was showing the sink where he would bathe his child when he was a baby. And somebody took that video that he had, and it was horrible. I don't even know if I could say this on YouTube, but sent the video and said to him, "Is that where you chopped your child up and murdered them?" Things like that. That's how devastating these people attacked these families.
Wow.
And it's not that, he took it to an extreme, which he should not have done. It is okay to question things. It is okay to say, you know what, this doesn't seem up on the up and up completely. I feel like there's maybe something that's not being told, or things might not have been the way that they're saying it was. That's okay. Everybody should be questioning it. Everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, there was just little things here and there. I did a lot of research on the conspiracy of all the shootings, and it's interesting that there was, I just sent Queen OG.
I don't know if I can play it or not.
I don't know.
I don't want to get, but it's a TikTok and it's got. Do you think I can play it?
I think it'll be fine. Yeah, because it's on a third-party site.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I'll play this. So you'll see it is like, you're like, why is he laughing? But who knows how people, because you see his reaction after. Let me make sure.
This is the father of one of the young victims, and I believe this was the day after the shooting. See if you can make it big.
Oh, he was an actor when he was in New York.
Let me try and get the TikTok.
So they took it as he's an actor, one of the fathers. But some people laugh when they're upset and nervous.
Well, so this is the guy. I don't know how to make it bigger, but this is the guy. I don't get it back. Oh, so, this is the guy. Look at this guy.
We're getting ready to come to the microphone, so he'll listen. Okay.
So you see, he's totally like laughing.
And then he kind of gets into character, is what people are saying, because it's going to go live. And then,
do we know if this was doctrined?
No, this is exactly what it was. I saw it live.
Okay.
Elementary school students here. No,
He almost laughed there. It almost looked like.
He's going to come out to the microphones now. and make a statement. Looks like the family is there,
Right there.
and they're getting ready to come to the microphone, so he'll listen. Okay. Robbie Parker, I assume.
Yeah,
So,
I mean
so you kind of see,
that's questionable. That's kind of weird,
right?
and it could be it could just be his like you know. But I mean, I agree. It's totally fine to question anything.
Absolutely.
But there's a point you know cross. Obviously, he crossed it.
They were saying that, like, at the scene, they had a ton of ambulances and fire trucks, but nobody did anything. There was no activity. There were no triage areas. There was no, like, if you just watched, like, the day of, there was just no activity. You didn't see, I don't know. See, that's the thing is you didn't see, like in Columbine, you saw the kids running from the school. Like in this scenario, you really didn't see much kids running from the school. There was just a lot of, you know, there was a neighbor who gave an interview that was kind of a sketchy kind of dude. Said a bunch of kids came to his house and they hung out at his house. And these were elementary kids. So, you know,
Right.
there was just a lot of weird things that happened that people got on film that were questionable. So I think that's why people, you know, kind of went with the whole, like, something's not right.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that, I'm like, wow, that Wyatt. And then, well, I didn't know who he was when I first started playing the video. I'm like, who's that guy laughing? And then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like,
that is weird.
He is one of the
And
fathers.
it could be that he's like, okay, now breathe, get into character. Or it could be he's like going out for this uncomfortable thing and he's just like, ha, ha, ha. And then he's like, oh God, I got, you know. But
yeah,
I want to look it up now. I want to look it all up.
Sketch, yes. Do some research on the parents and the homes that they lived in and the properties when they sold and when these people moved in and when they left and where are they now. And there's a lot of, if you really get into it, there's a lot of strange things about that whole small town.
And go down rabbit holes like nobody's rabbit.
Oh, you're going to get lost on that one for sure.
God. Oh God, I'm in trouble now. I mean,
yeah.
And I'm sure, you know, I'm sure you could go down that. But I mean, these people did have funerals. There were bodies. I know.
I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying, like, I kind of like to look. Like, I would love to look at it. I mean, I remember Sandy Hook. Was that the one JLR did the thing?
He got arrested.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Was it?
Yes, he got arrested.
Where he pretended to be the uncle or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes. Because outside of, you could see in some of the interviews right afterwards, there were signs posted that they were doing an emergency drill that day, and that crisis actors should go this way. Like there was signs for crisis actors and where they should go to stage and things like that. And this was all shown on live TV.
That's strange. I didn't follow all of that.
That are interesting to look at.
Yeah.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I love looking at that kind of stuff. It's because I'm always like, what if? What if?
Me too. I'm the same way. I thought the same about like a lot of the things that have happened. I mean, I looked into all the conspiracies about 9/11. Don't shoot me. Don't get mad. I'm just saying there are weird things in every situation where you're like, how did that happen? How explain to me how those buildings fell the way they fell. I just want to know.
There was a show. It was about conspiracy. It had Jesse Ventura in it. You would probably like it. Remember Jesse Ventura, and then he became the governor?
Yes.
I think it was all about conspiracies. You would probably love it. Because I like watching that kind of stuff. Because, you know, usually they're not true, but then you think like, well, what if? Like that would be really crazy. You know, I don't know. I just like stuff like that. I mean, you know,
the buildings kind of imploded. They kind of were like a demolition style fall, and it was just very interesting how they were supposed to be indestructible, and then there was a lot of different theories wrapped around it, but they'll actually explain to you if you look on YouTube, like the scientific explanations for things like that and stuff. I just get really into that.
Yeah, I love looking at like sciencey stuff like that. I mean, but I can go down a rabbit hole like that craziness. I mean, that like then I'll get myself into trouble. I'll be like, I'll be there till like next week.
And I think a lot of these people,
not anything, just in my bed, like looking.
Right, and Alex Jones took it too far. You know, you're not gonna, you know, go after the people. You're not gonna like, you know, but it's okay to question it. And I think a lot of people think that some of these school shootings have to do with gun control, you know, like, oh, let's scare the people into taking all their guns away. They kind of put the two together. And then, so that's why a lot of people don't necessarily believe things are the way that they are shown.
Well, you never know who knows I mean, after the things I've seen the last few months, who knows what anything is anymore? And it's always good to question everything, because you never know. You never know. You never know. This whole world could be a conspiracy. We could all be fake. We could be in the Matrix right now. We could all be in the Matrix right now.
Well, I guarantee there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that the general public does not know about. And so people are always trying to figure out, what is it that we don't know? Like, what really happened, you know?
I don't think I know very much.
And I
older, I guess.
believe that we should,
I don't know if I know anything, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's all, I mean, it's always good to learn. The more you know, the more you learn. It's always neat to look into that stuff. But Jesse Ventura, I forget the name of it, but I think it was kind of like a conspiracy type serious kind of show. You would probably like it.
Yeah, those kinds of things just intrigue me. I mean, it's no different than looking into these true crime cases, you know, and trying to figure out who did it and what was their motive. And, you know, everybody wants to dig deep into things and try to figure it out. And so it's kind of the same.
It's always interesting. Yeah. I love that stuff. I looked into the whole, you know, Summer Wells. I went down the rabbit hole once with the whole, like, you know, the foot fables and stuff like that.
Hang on, beer can. I am not a Trump fan. You got that one totally wrong, but nice try. Go ahead.
Okay, no fighting, please. We're not going to do politics.
We're
We're just saying it's cool to look. Everybody can have their own opinion. We can look at it. We can make your own decision. Look at the videos, read about it, make your own decisions. Right? It's all out there on Google. Make your own decisions. That's all we're saying.
It is funny how it's assumed, though, isn't it? Kind of funny how you state your opinion on something, and then everybody assumes you're this or you're that, and you know, very interesting.
That's part of what I was kind of talking about today. That I was talking about how we kind of separate ourselves into groups, and we have no empathy for the group that's opposite of us.
Exactly.
So there was an example of I'm this, you're that, and I can't listen to you, which I'm not saying right or wrong on anything. I'm just saying that's an example of what we do. We say, I'm here, you're there, and then then there's nothing going back and forth between the two. And that, I don't know if we always were that way. I think at one point we might've been like, I'm here, you're there, and that's okay. And we can still talk. I feel like now we're
that's how I am. Yeah. Because it's been a crazy couple of years. Let's admit it, you know, family members and things like that. Like you were talking about earlier with COVID, like there's separate sides of things, but as long as people aren't rude or mean about it, I am totally open to being cool with people who believe the opposite of me, because that's what keeps things interesting to me.
Well, and you never know, like you might find, okay, the Sandy Hook, it's real, but maybe you learned something along the way that led you to know something more about something else. Like we're still always learning, you know, the whole time.
Right, exactly. When I was looking into the 9/11 stuff, I learned a lot about how buildings are built and how airplanes are flown and how, you know, all the things. So you do learn when you're looking into this stuff. You learn laws.
And you know what? You can believe I'm not saying that you do. You could believe it's a conspiracy. I could believe it's not. And that doesn't mean that you're an asshole or I'm an asshole.
It just gives us something to talk about. Yeah, that's it would be boring if everybody agreed, right? So
absolutely.
It's good that people have differing opinions, as long as you're not rude about it or too harsh about it. It's just, you can share each other's, I know, Heather, that's funny. You can share each other's opinions and have a great conversation, actually.
Yeah. I mean, and that's where we go that we shouldn't. That's where we go, the whole, like, you generalize people. I now think that you're this and I hate you for it. And that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. Because what does it matter? That's one little caveat of who you are. That doesn't make anything to do with you know, knowing you and befriending you. That's one little, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't like when we get that way. I don't.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that here, and you know, you get put into a category or a group, and everyone is robotic, and they all think that. That's just not the case. We all have our own thoughts and our own opinions on different situations. We just, you know, enjoy each other's company. That's basically what it is.
Exactly. Like I got a message on one of my videos about how I had gone to the dark side. I didn't know I was in Star Wars. There's no dark side here. I don't know what side I'm on. I don't think there are any sides. You know, it's like there's no like. Why do we always have to be like? And if you're not me, you're you, and die. You die. You're not with me. You're against me.
Right. I was just going to say that. Yeah, you're either for me or you're against me. No, it's not like that. We're not going to agree on everything.
Can't we just be and be happy? Right. And like, do we have to just, you know?
Right. But I'm just a fake bitch, so what do I know?
Listen, we're all human
faker
beings.
than anybody, honey. I'm the freaking.
I feel like I'm made of plastic, like you. I just, you know, it is what it is.
Honey, if I get too close to the sun, I'm gonna melt.
Yeah, right. We're all human beings with our own minds and our own opinion. We're not robots. We have our own thoughts, and you know, a lot of it, like how we're brought up. It could be anything. Our environment. Everything makes us all unique. We're all made unique and different. And there's nothing wrong with that. We can learn from each other by listening.
Exactly.
To each other.
Yep.
We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different histories and different stories and different experiences. And we bring all of that to the table. And so we're all going to have different opinions on different situations.
Absolutely.
Right. And we learn from each other. We learn something new. And sometimes when someone else says something, you sit there and you think, wow, I never thought of that. Never thought of that.
Right. Instead of saying you're wrong, say, you know what? I never thought of it that way.
And maybe to me, I think what you're saying is wrong, but I think when we go saying it like that, like maybe I think, well, I think my opinion is right and you're wrong, but can we just say like, that's different? Like, do we have to be so, you know, because once you say things like that, you make someone defensive. And once you put someone on the defensive, communication breaks down.
It's done. It's over. And that's where Alex Jones made his right. And that's where Alex made his mistake. He didn't just say, you know, I think that's wrong. He actually let them know that they were wrong and how wrong they were. And that's where you get problems.
Everybody can be a Barbie. J. Marie can definitely be a Barbie. Always be a Barbie.
Right.
And so I'm only going to be up here for like about 5, maybe 10 more minutes. So just saying.
Okay, I'll jump down. I just wanted to say, you know, I just wanted to share that reason why, when you brought up the Alex Jones thing, why I thought that it was, you know.
It definitely was like, wow, that was really different.
Thank you for letting me know about the other stuff that I wasn't aware of because I didn't follow the shooting from the beginning. So that's something I will look into. SoCal, because I never followed it from the beginning, but I followed the whole trial, and I wanted to see like where does like free speech start and end, and you know what are the laws for. I'm interested in law, and I follow a lot of crime cases on like court TV and that to see what rights are out there for people. And I just think it was pushed too far, like you said. There's nothing wrong with having your own opinion.
Yep.
But how far is too far before you push somebody? Sort of like we were talking about earlier, you could push somebody right off the deep end.
Yeah.
Radicalism is definitely something that has come to light in the last few years. Like people become radical about things, and that's where it crosses the line, and that's where it becomes dangerous. You know, it's okay to have your thoughts on it, but there's lines you don't cross. You know,
I think there's a perception line in our heads though when we intend to hurt somebody. I think sometimes people get to a point where I'm not agreeing with you, and now I intend to hurt you. I intend to offend you. I intend to make you belittled or something. And I think that's also when we cross the line. When in our heads we want to bring you down, and our intention change from just a conversation to I'm going to take you down. And that's that happens.
I don't know, because if people didn't follow the case, but these families reached out to them and asked them how and explained to him how it was harming their families. Could they please stop? So it wasn't like they just ran out and got a lawyer and did a lawsuit. they asked respectfully, could you please, explain what was happening? And
Right.
it continued for so long, what I mean?
Yeah, it's a long time from to then to now. That's a
When you
long time.
lose empathy, it's dangerous. You have to
Yep.
have some level of empathy for how other people are feeling, whether you think they're right or wrong. They're feeling that because there's something within them that's making them feel that way. And so if you don't empathize with that, you don't
Yep.
care about anyone but yourself, then you're screwed.
Yep.
And
And
remember, go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, once we start not looking at another person as a human, it's like I always say, like, I might not like someone, but everybody's a human and I never want to hurt anybody. Even if I don't like you, you're still a human and I don't want you to hurt. But I think there are a lot of people that are just like no empathy and like you die. Like I don't care. And that's harsh.
Right.
That way.
It is. And remember we watched that other video all together about the school shooting, and I forgot what town that was. So Cal, refresh it was a recent one.
Uvalde, and somebody was asking me if I've looked into that one yet, and I haven't, but I will.
But all of the police force was suspended or fired.
Yes, there was a lot of bad things that happened with that one, and it is being taken care of. And that was absolutely horrible. And you would have had to take me out before I did not run into that school.
Exactly.
But that's just me. Everyone's different.
Now.
But
I just want to research all day now. I just want to
these parents were held outside for how long? I want to say almost an hour.
Yes.
And no police entered the building.
Yeah.
So, and they wouldn't let the parents go in. And, so it was just, I can't imagine being one of those parents just standing there and listening to what's going on and not being able to stop it,
Oh, I would have gone. No, there's no stopping. There's no stopping cuckoo. If
the head of the department was
somewhere, I'm there. No way.
No.
All right. Well, I got to get going and pick up the other one. So
thanks for letting me come up. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming up. Robin, you too. And
thank you for letting me come up and just say about, we all think that what we say and do can't go to court or something. It was just to bring up enlightenment about what's can and cannot maybe happen when we're on these things.
Yeah.
So, you have a good one. Bye.
You too. Okay. I'm going to say bye to everybody. Thanks as always for coming. You don't have to be here and you choose to. So thanks. And as usual, we had no drama. It was fun. And nobody went cray and got timed out and blocked and yada, yada, yada. So thank you. I appreciate it. I love you all. And bye.